Hello, I'm your host, Jason Miles, here for another episode of Beyond the Red Zone, our very own show that is dedicated to in-depth coverage of sports. At least that's what we tell ourselves every time we do this show for our returning listeners, subscribers, and of course, our very valued patrons. So glad to have you back. You are the driving force behind the TIR machine. We could not do this without you. For those new to the channel, welcome. If you do enjoy this type of programming, please feel free to hit like and subscribe. It is a passive gesture that goes a long way towards promoting the channel. For fans of the main show, we will be back tomorrow morning, speaking with Mike Watson and Adam Turrell of Revol Press about the role of the critic in upholding capitalist hegemony. That show will be at 10 a.m. Pacific time, and we usually have our 6 o'clock show. We'll be having a movie night for our patrons and paid YouTube subscribers. Now, if you appreciate all the diverse programming we provide here on TIR and want to join us for these movie nights and champagne rooms, then you should become a patron or a paid YouTube subscriber. You'll get access to the champagne rooms and movie nights, and you get the satisfaction of knowing that your small pledge is a large part of making sure this insanity can continue. And for a limited time only during Negro Trivia Month, also known as Black History Month, we're giving away 28 patron memberships. That's right. 28 days, 28 memberships. Now, on to the show. Venture capital in youth sports. For decades, youth sports in the United States existed primarily as community institutions run through schools, municipal parks, departments, volunteer coaches, and neighborhood leagues where kids could simply sign up, pay a modest fee, and play. That landscape has been radically transformed in just the past decade. What was once an accessible space for recreation, physical development, and community bonding has become a $40 billion corporate playground for Wall Street investors. In industries from dentistry to bowling, private equity has perfected the playbook. Buy up fragmented local businesses, cut costs, consolidate, control, and maximize profits for investors. That same strategy is now being applied to youth sports. Funds are snapping up ice rinks, cheerleading organizations, baseball camps, and entire league networks, creating vertically integrated empires that extract revenue at every turn. There's a new, or actually not that new, it's a couple months old, Jacobin article on youth that highlights the absurdity of youth hockey and how far this shift has gone. In some private equity run facilities, parents are banned from recording their own children's games, instead being forced to pay steep monthly fees to access corporate live streams and recordings. Simultaneously, the professionalization of youth athletics, driven by social media exposure, college recruiting paradigms, and industry branding, has created new pressures on families. Parents today are more likely to view their children's sport through the lens of investment. Expensive training, specialized coaching, and elite travel teams that didn't exist in past generations. This has entrenched a winner-take-all mentality so early in life that by age 13, simply making the team by showing up is no longer considered enough. The result? A system where children from families without financial means are increasingly priced out of sports participation, where athletic identity is tied to economic capital, and where the joyful experience of play is increasingly replaced by corporate extraction. Here to continue this conversation with me and take a deeper dive into venture capital's foray into youth sports is my homie, my dog, my co-host in these sporting endeavors, and also a Patriots fan. Please welcome Mac.
What up, everybody?
Not my Super Bowl champs.
Hashtag not my Super Bowl champs, okay? Like it was, obviously the game was rigged to ensure that the Patriots didn't win.
I just want to say I'm wearing this for you, Mac.
I know. I mean, it's absolutely nuts. Like we were talking about before we went live, that Darnold was the first USC quarterback to pull a ring. But I mean, the Seahawks played a hell of a game. I don't think anybody can argue that. McDonald, his defense, I think it was red. He remember last week, he said that the Seahawks might have like one of those top defenses ever, not just this year, not just in the league, just ever. And I don't think he's lying, right?
They put on a fucking clinic.
Oh, dude, they brought pressure from everywhere when they realized that Will Campbell couldn't keep up on the edge.
Oof.
They attacked that left side. They did a phenomenal job of keeping Drake May uncomfortable. But I mean, let's give it up for the real champ, the real catalyst in this Super Bowl win for the Seahawks. Let's give it up for Jason Miles, guys, right? The work that he's done with the Darnold family, it's been phenomenal. Since he started dicking down Mrs. Darnold and all her flat bottom glory, Darnold's had the best 2 years of his career the last 2 years. So, I mean, it's
on a serious note. I do want to say this before we get into the venture capital discussion. For the people that say it was a boring Super Bowl, I would ask you, what is an exciting one? And number two, you're probably not a football fan.
Well, I would argue this. Defensively, that game was a chess match because the Pats were able to go toe to toe.
Yes.
Managing to hold that offense to field goals was a small, miracle. But you could tell about, I'd say midway through the third, like you could tell that the Patriots defense was 100% gassed. The inability of the offense to do anything remotely good kept the defense on the field. And at that point, granted, Walker had 90 yards before the half. I think the Super Bowl MVP couldn't have went to anybody else. Walker had a phenomenal game, controlled time of possession with his runs. He was always picking up positive yardage. He wasn't getting hit in the backfield.
That's the thing about chess matches in football. It is going to be a lot of 2 and 3 yard gains instead of 3 yard losses, and those 3 yard losses putting you in 3rd and 9s and 3rd and 10, opposed to 3rd and 5s. And they converted on a lot of those 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6 with runs with short passes, getting them into really close field goal range. They didn't take any really long field goals in that game. There was no 50 yarders from my understanding.
Yeah.
So like it's little. I can understand why the casual fan or the person that's obsessed with statistics doesn't like a game like that, because you want to see Madden numbers, and you're not going to see Madden numbers. You're going to see strategic moves, right?
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
throw the ball away, live to fight another day kind of stuff on third down.
The one positive for the Pats was Gonzalez. Like, he essentially took Jackson Smith and Jigba out of the game completely.
He took everything deep out of the game, and you can say you can argue this on his 2 biggest plays. And I would definitely listen to this argument. You can say on his 2 biggest plays, which was who's number 22 for the Seahawks, the really fast guy that can't catch that good.
Oh, Shaheed.
Yeah. The ball to Shaheed. Shaheed was open, and he made a great play on it, but Darnold was late on his release. Because I think Darnold was, again, he was stressing a little bit. And he was pressing to the point where he wasn't going to make any big mistakes. And that could have been a big mistake. The play to stop the touchdown, again, you can say that he was pressing a little bit and was a little late. Those were 2 major plays in that game. And I'm not taking anything away from Gonzalez, because he still made those plays. There was another overthrow that I think would have blown the game wide open.
I mean, the thing is, there were Darnold missed some throws.
A few throws.
And that's going to happen when, the Patriots were able to get pressure for 3 quarters.
Yes. Yes.
And what I think, here's my gripe about Vrabel. He kind of gave up on the run completely in the second half, which I don't understand why you do that, because that's essentially the only thing moving the ball at this point. Right.
But it was, did you feel that they stopped it though? I feel like their run blitzes were kind of perfect.
I mean, they were, but like if like you were saying, just pick up the 3 yards,
Yeah.
right? And Stevenson and Henderson were doing that,
Mhm.
right? They weren't doing that so much. Like when they only ran the ball 6 times in the second half. That's what killed me, right? If you know that you're not moving the ball well, okay, well, why don't we just hold on to the ball, try and get some, at least a field goal, and keep our let our defense get a breath of air before they have to come back on the field, you know?
Mhm.
Um, and on top of that, like not going for it on 4th and 1. Why the fuck not? You're down in the Super Bowl. Go for it. What's the worst that happened? It
They were
stopped.
the Patriots defense was getting penetration. Sam Darnold, again, kind of complimenting his very good quarterback play. Besides kind of missing on like 3 throws that we were mentioning that he missed on, he was able to avoid the rush with just great pocket movement
Mhm.
and get rid of the ball when he needed to. And again, didn't make big mistakes. And I get how that's probably not the most exciting thing to watch because you want to watch big plays and, you want to watch a close game and, it comes down to the wire. And it was kind of an ass kicking.
Oh yeah, dude, and I'll be the first one to admit that. After when I saw Will Campbell just get bull rushed on the like 3rd play of the game, of the Pats' first possession, I was like, this is going to be rough. And the thing is, I was hesitant about the pick because I was like, okay, they're going to have to kick him inside the guard, right? And we can sit here and make fun of measurables all day long, and I'm 99.9% I'm on board with that. But when it comes to tackles, they need long arms, right? You have to be able to reach out and engage that defensive end and slow him down early enough to give the quarterback time to throw the ball. Dude, Campbell has very short arms for a tackle, like the shortest in the league. So I was swearing up and down they were going to move him inside the guard. And the thing is, it's like 5th overall for a guard. That's a wow, But hey, we need the offensive line help, right? And the thing is Campbell had kind of been taken advantage of at certain points in the season, right? But May's ability to get out of the pocket and keep looking downfield kind of covered up that, I guess shortcoming.
Mhm.
He couldn't do that against Seattle. Seattle was bringing
No.
guys from everywhere. They're super fast. And the thing is, they were able to literally just crush that left side of New England's offensive line. So maybe the end wasn't going to get May, but the tackle was,
Do you
or
think
that
May was having
linebacker.
a hard do you think he was having a hard time identifying the blitz because they were coming late from
Oh,
God, I can't think of the position now. I'm drawing a blank.
dude,
Those slot blitzes.
yeah, dude. The thing is that there's something to that, but also the offensive line wasn't even acting as a speed bump, right? Like they were just getting blown off the ball. McDonald called a hell of a game. Seattle's got a hell of a defense. Red, I agree with you. That is probably going to go down as one of the all-time great defenses. And for the most part, like that defense is going to be together a while. They're all pretty young, you know? So this could be Legion of Boom 2.0 or whatever the cool nickname they're going to give themselves. But Seattle's set up to be a good team for a while. I really believe that.
I thought the way they all gelled so quickly, I think it also spoke to why I appreciate a person like Darnold in a locker room because he is humble from everything I've been reading and watching about him over the last few weeks.
Well, naturally, he's surrounded by a bunch of large black men. He can't just wear his hood and his robes into the locker room.
I
He's got to
I
keep
want
that.
to finally stop calling him a racist. Like when you hear the guy talk, like all jokes aside, like that's one of those like the equivalent of that is like, well, they're black with nappy hair, so they're thugs.
Well, you're gonna have to bring a picture of him up so we can see the lips. It's the Marcus rule. So far,
He
it's played out pretty well.
he's
Just saying.
been, all jokes aside, like the guy gets a ton of respect in a way that other cats don't. I watched an interview recently with Joey Porter, and he was shitting all over your boy Ben Roethlisberger.
Oh yeah, he's not happy with him. He is not happy with him. And first off, Ben Roethlisberger is not my boy. Just because he's from Ohio doesn't make him my boy. That's like saying, hey, Claw, your boy Ben over here. No, Claw's going to be like, I don't claim that bitch.
Well, he's not even from your area. He's from Lima.
Oh, dude, he's and he went to school in he's from Findlay. That's more south. And then he went to school in Miami of Ohio. So
no, I'm giving you a hard time about him being your boy. But seeing Joey Porter say, that dude's a horrible person. He's a horrible teammate. He's a horrible man. I believe he said all those things about Ben Roethlisberger.
Oh, dude, Porter was just like.
Have you ever heard Shannon Sharp say that about John Elway? Have you ever heard Jerry Rice say that about Joe Montana or Steve Young? Have you ever heard Deion Sanders say that about Troy Aikman or Joe Montana?
No. I mean, the thing is, it's like the thing is what a lot of those quarterbacks have in common. They were all assholes. They just weren't bad human beings. And like enough time has surpassed since their playing days where if there was some actual nasty shit, it would have come out. Right.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
So like, we know these guys are assholes. Like, you kind of have to be an asshole to have the level of success that those guys had. Right. So you could be like, yeah, dude, these guys fucking dog me out every day in practice and called me everything but my name. But I know it was like due to, competitive spirit, making the team better, that type of shit. Ben Roethlisberger was a fucking scumbag. Right. He's a 4-inch taller fucking Brett Favre, right? Like, there's just bad people.
Another guy you don't hear too many people have good things to say about.
No, I mean, dude, if anybody on the planet has anything nice left to say about Brett Favre, they have to be related to him. Like, that's it.
But they were getting money in that scam as well.
Yeah. So yeah, University of Southern Mississippi is like, oh, we love Brett.
Like, seriously, like we can name all these cats that we grew up watching, and generally when you hear their teammates talk about them, they don't say those same things that Joey Porter said. Like, I mean, call out the whole like rape allegations and be like, nah, Joey's a scumbag.
Joey Porter played with him for I think 10 years too, so he was like there from.
Yeah, he goes, the only Super Bowl I won was with that guy, and he was my quarterback, but he's a horrible man.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah. No, but like Darnold, the guy's seen it all. Like, he's spent a lot of years playing on some very bad teams, rebuilding teams. Kind of, I don't want to say reinvented himself, but he kind of got like a second win in San Francisco, and then he got the chance to start. Now, if anybody looks like an idiot at this point, it's got to be the Vikings' former front office. Because I don't know if you saw, they fired their GM this past week.
Yeah. And the name gentleman that we probably can't pronounce.
It's like Quincy Adolfo.
Yeah,
I think, which, if you read anything, the ownership didn't want Darnold there. So it's like, bro, you're the one who told your general manager to get rid of Darnold so you can start your number 9 overall pick, who literally did little to nothing in college. Right? That is like shooting yourself in the foot. Like, the last 2 years, I mean, granted, last season, his last year in Minnesota, the end of it wasn't great. And then it was, oh, well, Darnold can't play well in the playoffs. Well, Darnold kind of showed I can play just fine in the playoffs. And he fucking balled out. The Super Bowl is always going to be rough. Like, you had 2 very, very good defenses.
Yes.
He's not going out and throwing for 400 yards against the Pats. I don't think he expected to. I think he was just like, I need to do what I can to put the offense in the best position to get points on the board against this defense.
You know what he said in an interview? He said that he learned a lot from Brock Purdy. And he said that Brock Purdy told him, when they were talking about kind of dealing with a certain amount of adversity from pundits, he said Brock Purdy told him, I'm a point guard, and I have to put the ball in the hands of these playmakers, and that's my job. Just get the playmakers the ball, because when he was there, it's Deebo Samuel, it's Christian McCaffrey, that's Brandon
Ayuk, George Kittle.
Yeah. So put the ball in the hands of the playmakers, and you can see that made sense to him in Seattle because he had 2 running back playmakers, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Cooper Kupp, right? Like get the ball in the hands of the people that need to make plays, and you don't have to be the greatest person on the field. And taking that massive step back, you can see that really helped his game to the point where when the defense believes in you, your team is going to be pretty strong.
Yeah.
And hard to F with. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I feel bad for Drake May in that I'm a Bronco fan, so I remember 55-10. I watched that game, as a young person. And one of the most iconic scenes is there's a camera shot on John Elway as they're getting pummeled, and kind of in the background is a sign that says court jester because they were in New Orleans.
Yeah.
And that scene haunted him for the next 8 years, maybe. And at the end of the game, he's dejected because it's 3 almost in a row. And he's grabbed by Matt Millen, and Matt Millen's like, dude, you gotta keep your head up. And that's kind of how I felt about Drake May. Like, poor kid was crying at the end of the game, and he just got pummeled. He's going to take all the blame. And you wonder how he's going to take this level of adversity, because when I think of younger QBs dealing with a certain amount of adversity after they've had a lot of praise, I kind of go back to Vince Young, and that hasn't been that long ago since he was in the league. And adversity really knocked him out of the league more so than even his play.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, New England didn't do him a solid by not investing more in the offensive line. They made great free agent pickups this year, right? Like Chasen really panned out. They had some very smart signings, but you got a quarterback going into a second year. You owe it to yourself, not just to protect your quarterback, but to make sure your franchise isn't backsliding all the way back to the 80s and early 90s, right? To spend money and keep that quarterback upright. Granted, New England was able to apply pressure and kind of throw Darnold off, but Darnold wasn't on his back much, right? Because Seattle made the investment. And also they've shown they can develop good offensive linemen as well through multiple head coaching changes. They've been able to do that. They've made some pretty good offensive linemen going all the way back to, like, I'd say Holmgren when he took over, in the early 2000s. They draft and develop good linemen in Seattle. It's just kind of what it's something they very much excel at. Whereas New England has had huge issues drafting and developing offensive linemen since Dante Scarnecchia retired for like the 3rd time. And he's not coming back this time, guys. He's 80-something years old. He may go down as the greatest offensive line coach that ever coached giant hulking men, but he's not coming back. So what are you doing now as a franchise, to ensure that you can draft and develop offensive linemen to keep Drake May off his back and not running for his life when you come up against a defense like this, right? And that is going to be, I think, how you can kind of fight off that adversity, is show him, listen, dude, we fucked up. We did not get you enough help up front, but look, this is what we did to fix this issue, right? You're going to have bad games in professional sports, but it makes it easier when you see like the front office doing what they can to flesh out your team, make it better, or you bring in a better player at important positions. That is going to put that guy at ease, right? Like I can only imagine. Granted, Steph Curry is a tiny man who's held together with a lot of duct tape and chewed bubble gum right now. He probably would have had a little more pep in his step if the Warriors managed to pull the Giannis trade off, right? Like, it extends his championship window, so that always goes into helping these players kind of stave that off. And Philly didn't do that with Vince Young. Tennessee didn't do that with Vince Young, right? They just went out and signed some names in Philly in this case, and thought we got super, we signed these big names, we're going to be fine. That's not how football is. That's not how any team sport is. You got to have glue guys. You got to have guys that just go out there and do their job, and we're seeing that because, like, how many guys can you name off Seattle's defense? I couldn't before Sunday.
No, you're right.
No,
you're right. You're right. Yeah, but some of those guys were cast-offs.
Yeah, every one of those guys knew their job and they did it phenomenally. I was bummed the Pats lost, but I'm gonna tell you right now, dude, watching McDonald coach and watching his staff coach was, like you said, it was a clinic. Not one player was out of position. Not a one. All three phases of the game were.
Special teams was a clinic.
Oh, dude, that kicker and punter won the game for the Seahawks, right? Because outside of Walker, Seahawks offense wasn't doing a whole lot, But oh man, we got a punt. Cool. We'll just pin New England back on the 2-yard line.
It was not a big deal. We're going to play field position with you. Like that's another thing that you decide when you're doing walkthroughs. Like, hey, we feel confident that we can play field position with these guys. You don't have to win the game. If you miss a pass on 3rd and 4, punt the ball. We'll live to fight another day. We'll play field position. We'll get the ball.
Yeah. Back. And even then, as Walker kept picking up chunks of yards, that gave Darnold a lot of space because he's like, listen, if it's 2nd and 4 and I overthrow or a guy drops one, we're still good because Walker's going to pick up that 4 yards. We get 4 more downs.
Yeah.
It was a, like I said, phenomenal game, coaching clinic, and I tip my cap to the Seahawks for playing perfectly. It wasn't always pretty. It didn't have to be. That's not what wins you Super Bowls. Executing does, and the Seahawks executed at a very high level. Good teams, when something's not working right, somebody else steps up. So the passing game wasn't working well for Seattle. Well, guess what, dude? We got Kenneth Walker, and he's just going to run for 130 something yards, which is like the most yards by running back since, and wins a Super Bowl MVP. The first running back to do it since fucking Davis, right? Yeah. So like that's nuts.
It's like 20 years.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think. Well, that's how the game has changed as well. Like the game really has changed to be super pass heavy. And we've seen some also, when the Seattle boat raced the Denver Broncos 43-8, which I don't like to remember. I forget how many touchdowns the defense had. And they had a special teams touchdown as well.
Yeah. They can do it safety.
All. Like it was a really bad game. They beat the dog crap out of the Broncos, who came into that game pretty injured, but there's no excuses. You still got that.
Yeah. I mean, and that's what killed me. Like it comes out, well, Campbell was playing with a torn ligament in his knee. I don't give a fuck. Right? Like I don't. If you make the decision to play, you have to be able to protect your quarterback because that's your job.
Yeah.
That is your gig. And if you didn't feel you could do it well enough, you need to move aside and let your backup come in, like it was, and Pats fans are like, well, that's why he was getting fucked up. No, dude, he was getting fucked up because he was getting blown off the ball at the snap. Like
he was shook.
Oh, dude. They keep saying like
way more false starts had the refs. They let them play in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Yeah. And then that's the thing, they kept saying, the knock against Darnold coming out of that playoff loss in Minnesota was, he saw ghosts. Dude, Campbell was seeing ghosts all fucking night, dude.
Yeah.
He didn't know where they were coming from, man. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't a pretty game, but you know what, man? Seattle played their asses off. They deserved the win. New England sets one record for, appearing in the most Super Bowls and also sets another record for losing the most.
Which seems insane when you think of the run they went on. But, let's just say this much about the Patriots. When I'm coming into watching football around 85, 86, the Patriots aren't a perennial Super Bowl power. They get to the playoffs a bit in the mid to late 80s, but they're not a powerhouse in the AFC East. By the time the Brady years kick in, they are kind of a perennial power in a way that maybe only you've seen with the Yankees and the Lakers and the Celtics.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think in the 80s, the Pats got to that Super Bowl, got destroyed by the Bears. But you got to keep in mind the year before that Super Bowl, they were 500, right? The year after the Super Bowl, they were under 500, and they had gotten so bad. That's why they were able to pick up Bledsoe in '93. You
They
know,
won like 1 or 2 games that year.
one game,
Yeah.
right? And Bledsoe gets them to a Super Bowl. They're a playoff team, but they're running into those, getting into the playoffs with those late year Elway Broncos, right? The Shanahan Broncos, which are always going to be miserable. You've got the Bill Cowher Steelers, which are always a tough out. It just, they can never quite put it all together. And then in 2001, you have Brady coming off the bench because Bledsoe almost dies on the field. And it just, you had this phenomenal 20-year run, and I am so glad I got to witness that after putting up with some very, very, very bad teams for a very long time. So when Brady left and the wheels start coming off, I'm like, well, you know what? It's okay. Right? I got spoiled for 20 something years. I cannot complain, and then to see him kind of bounce back like this, I can nitpick Vrabel's play calling and his coaching during the Super Bowl. That's okay. He made some mistakes. He even copped to making mistakes, during the press conferences. But having Vrabel there, I think, is a net plus, right? I think the Patriots are going to get better, but there's still a lot of work. I get it. You're a Lions fan. This isn't a competition. Right? God, at least you got to see Barry fucking Sanders. Ask me who my original fucking Pats running back was. Leonard Russell.
Oh, it wasn't Craig. It wasn't Craig. Fuck, what is his name? He played with Eric Dickerson at SC.
Yeah.
I keep wanting to say Craig Nettles, but that's the baseball player for
the Craig James.
James
James by that point had gotten so many injuries. He was essentially just taking up a roster spot and wearing.
He was bone on bone with his knees.
Yeah,
Craig James was 1,000-yard rusher, easy in the NFL, beast.
Yeah.
Before Christian McCaffrey, he was a badass white boy, but no one really said badass white boy because you could have white running backs back then.
Yeah, but like it's okay. The greatest QB ever. I would still argue Breeze overall is a better quarterback. He had less talent to work with in New Orleans, but and he did go to Michigan. Trust me, it hurt me when I saw Drew walking off the field and then collapsing. And keep in mind, Drew is my guy, and I see this fuckstick who couldn't even get the full-time starting job at Michigan walk in. Yeah. He split snaps with a guy who was playing third base for the fucking Yankees AAA team.
What do we have to say about what Red said?
But yeah.
Gong sound. I'm so sorry.
I'm good with the gong. It's great.
Yeah.
It just, like I said, I got spoiled. I was okay with them being down for a bit, but I mean, there's still a lot of work on the roster construction that needs to be done in New England. Seattle probably needs to add some depth pieces just in case on the offense, because you can never have too many of those right now. But like their base is good, man. Like they are set for a nice run over 3 or 4 years before, you have to start looking at moving some of your older guys out because of the way, contracts are structured, salary cap, all that. But it seems like they got a great head coach. They got a great front office. I think they finally found their quarterback. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And that's an important piece. It's just how does Darnold, and granted, he's not an old man.
No. He can give you a good 8 to 10 years.
But here's the thing, though, is we don't know when Father Time starts gunning for some of these quarterbacks, right? Because Brady's the exception, not the rule, right? Peyton, until that last year, was the exception, not the rule. And I think that may have been the most heartbreaking Father Time winning, because just the year before, Peyton was still huck it, chuck it football, right? And then that last year he couldn't even shot put the ball 10 yards.
It was
right?
bad watching some of those, even watching Super Bowl highlights and seeing some of those punts come out of his arm that went 10 yards. Look, Peyton Manning, what's the guy that's still playing right now? Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Ben Roethlisberger. Sorry.
Hey, Roethlisberger, fuck you. All right, just a Big Ben, you see over there, that's where you can fuck off to. And when you think you fucked off enough, just keep going. Just keep fucking off. And then when you hit the fuck off ocean, take a fuck off swim, right? And swim to fuck off island and just stay there. Okay.
Like, I'm thinking about quarterbacks that have retired recently that retired at pretty, who was pretty old when he retired, but he also had a lot of years as a backup? Rich Gannon. Did you watch that thing about Rich Gannon and Elvis Gerbach? Did you watch that?
No, I absolutely will not watch that.
Okay.
I only have so many hours in my week, and I'm not going to dedicate any amount of time to a guy named Elvis Gerbach and Rich Gannon.
Okay. So I'll tell this really quick, and we have to talk about, for like 5 minutes, we have to talk about venture capital youth sports. I didn't realize Sports Illustrated and People Magazine were in the same building. And this woman that worked for Sports Illustrated as a young reporter, where you're just kind of fact checking articles.
Yeah.
She didn't know anything about sports. And she moved to People Magazine. And
well, fun fact, I just want you guys to know, most fact checkers in your sports, like on your desk or like in your sports department, have no background at all in sports. None.
And this is what we say.
No, that was the sports desk at the Washington Post this past week.
We're firing 300 people.
Yeah. Wait, Mr. Bezos, which 300 people? Oh, the sports desk. Don't worry about it. You don't exist anymore.
And then
what? Yeah.
These are the sound effects that are within the streaming thing that we have. But anyway, so this woman goes and works for People Magazine, and People Magazine wants to do their hottest athlete of the year. And someone mentions that there's an attractive quarterback that plays for the Kansas City Chiefs. And they didn't know that there's first and second string quarterbacks. And if you remember, Gannon and Gerbach were kind of gunning for the starting role, and eventually Gerbach got it.
Mm-hmm.
So this person had saw a picture of Rich Gannon, and they were like, okay, this guy's handsome. There's our most striking athlete, sexiest athlete alive for this year, like 93 or something. So they go call up the team, press office. Hey, we want to do a feature on your starting quarterback, because they don't even realize the name. They just say starting quarterback. And they say, we want to name him the most sexiest athlete alive. And so the press guy goes to Elvis Gerbach because he's the starter. And they're like, they just named you the sexiest man alive. And Gerbach is like, word? Me? And so they're like, yeah. So the photographer comes down there. They get him. They go to a studio that looks like a locker, and they take all the pictures. They do everything in their power. And the photographer's kind of like, oh, this is the guy, huh? So they come back with the pictures.
And they're like, that's not him.
Yeah, they're like, that's not.
That's not him.
But they can't make the backup the guy. So then they just create a fake article about Elvis Gerbach and how his teammates say all these wonderful things about him. They like
Wow,
make up
dude.
teammates' names, and Gerbach eventually found out that he was not the right guy and was mildly hurt by that. But if you ever see that People magazine sexiest athlete alive and think to yourself, Elvis Gerbach, huh? What a normal looking man. He was not supposed to be that guy.
You got to think, out of all like the gymnasts and sprinters and golf, like so many other better looking people, athletes in 93 than fucking Elvis Gerbach and Rich Gannon. You know, like
Dion was playing at that time. Jerry Rice. Montana is still in the game. Dan Marino is still playing.
Yeah. Hey, before we get to private equity, though, can we say that an injustice has finally been taken care of and that Roger Craig finally put in the Hall of Fame?
Let's give this double applause. Double fucking applause.
It should not have taken this long. It should not have taken this long.
1,000 receiving yards and 1,000 rushing yards in one season. And they go, oh, yeah, that guy.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what took so long? Like, seriously, what, he had fumbleitis? He wasn't the only one.
No. And the thing is, you know, he played in a time where you had much bigger names at running back that didn't touch his production statistically. And the thing is, he did it on a team filled with people that were bigger targets that should have had more yardage, and they didn't. You know, I mean, that's what kills me about all this. You look at those Niners teams that he played on. Brett Jones at tight end. You had John Taylor and Rice, right? You had Rathman, who took carries from him as a fullback. And, I'll just be the first guy that played running back to have 1,000 receiving and 1,000 rushing yards in the same season. You know, perennial 1,000-yard guy. Like, it should not have taken this long. I'm not trying to knock Bo Jackson here, right? I'm not, because he was a phenomenal athlete. His fucking career was this. Roger Craig did far more in pads than Bo Jackson ever did. And he had to wait this long after Jackson got inducted. That's fucked. That's all I'm going to say. That's fucked. You know.
Elvis Gerbach looks like a nice stuff. Elvis Gerbach is the man that the hot bad girl marries after she's at her like 5th shitty relationship. It's like, I'm finally going to go out with Dan. I know he's my manager. I know this is bad, but he's so nice. He asked me how I was doing. He followed up about my Nana's fucking ankle surgery.
Guys, and when I was not feeling well, he just showed up to my work and was like, here's some coffee, thinking about you. And he left.
Yeah. Oh, he asked me out. I didn't want to, because he's got that fucking weird nose and those beady eyes. You guys made all those jokes about him looking like a serial killer.
Yeah, I get it. He likes to wear turtlenecks, but
I know he wears pocket t-shirts in the summer, and it's just, and the shorts they're a weird length and not baggy, but baggy, and the socks and the flip-flops. Like, I get all the things that you say. He wears his cell phone on a clip in the front of his belt buckle.
I get it. His wallet is Velcro, but he's just so thoughtful.
I know that on fucking Casual Friday, he wears his hat backwards with his sunglasses on the back of his backwards hat. Looks like the world's largest douchebag, but
they're standing in line at like Starbucks, and he's like, "Oh, Becky, you want something? I got it. Don't worry about it." Yeah, and you just hear, and the friend looks at her like,
I know it's weird that a romantic movie to him is the first 3 Lethal Weapons.
One of the first things he said to me was, "Did you know that Die Hard is a Christmas movie?"
Like, he does look like that guy, that polo shirt wearing ass guy. He tucks in his polo shirt to his khakis. He gets his jeans dry cleaned.
He owns an iron and uses it.
Ooh, that uses the fuck out of it.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's not just ironing, Jason. He's using starch. He really wants that tight crease going down the.
Dre said there's Mac and Jason describing themselves. I don't know, Dre. When the fuck have you seen me wear goddamn khakis? Iron a shirt. Wear a turtleneck.
I haven't picked up an iron since I was in the Army.
I just found my iron. This house came with an iron, and I was looking for it the other day. So I was like, I think this wrinkle is a little too much. But I don't have an ironing board, so I don't know how I was going to iron the shirt.
A table.
I don't have any tables that aren't textured.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Guys, when we build the trench line for the thing, Jason's going to have a whole dugout while the rest of us are like kneed in mud. You guys like to put your coffee cups on my textured table?
This furniture came with the place. There's no ironing board, but there's an iron. And so I was like looking for, I found it the other day, but no, I haven't ironed anything in this century that I can remember.
Dude, you got to think, when we switched to the digital camouflage, we stopped ironing uniforms, right?
Really?
Yeah. I got a Patriots Super Bowl 60 championship shirt off an eBay user from El Salvador. I'll put it over a beanbag chair to stretch. Goddamn, Virtuoso, are you saying I'm built like a beanbag?
Mac isn't even that big. Mac is a regular sized man.
Wow.
I'm so mad. I'm so mad.
Hey, Virtuoso, you know what? Go join Ben on Fuck Off Island, okay? Wow, man.
Textured table. Well, you can come over to my house and you can fucking have brunch on it and find out.
All right, we got to get to the main topic because I think this is an important one. Jay wears his formal shorts to weddings. His formal shorts to weddings. Bad Lefty.
I have no pants. I have no dress pants. None.
No, I don't either.
None.
I have a suit.
I don't need them.
I have one suit because I had to have one when I went to Tribeca, and I haven't worn it since. So
yeah, I
don't know if I fit it anymore.
I don't even have a suit coat.
You know,
sport jacket.
I don't have to dress up.
Yeah, unlike Elvis Gerbach, Stepfather of the Year, I do not.
Ladies, if you need a new husband, Elvis Gerbach is probably a safe bet. He will not mess with your kids.
Oh, not at all.
No, he's going to take a knee and look at your son and go, "Listen, pal, I'm not your dad. I know that. But I just want you to know, if you need anything, I'm here for you."
You know what's sad? Mac and I both wanted some man to say that to us.
Yes.
That's why that shit hurts so. That's why it stings so.
Yeah.
That's why.
Jason and I just turn our cameras off for a minute. You guys just hear weeping.
Instead, for me, it was like, "I ain't your daddy, punk ass nigga, you little faggot." I'm like, I'm 7.
My mom just hooks up with this series of dudes that just used to beat the shit out of me. Yeah, it was phenomenal.
That
the
line that Max.
The best part of being like, my mom got together with my youngest brother's dad. He fucking Spartan kicked me through the drywall in our apartment living room. Put me in the hospital for like 2 weeks, dude.
Oh,
fucked my shit up. because I got in between him and my mom when he was beating the shit out of her. So, yeah, dude, just like he Leonidas me. I looked like I looked like that Persian emissary in 300. Just
Rick Ruff said maybe all he knows
Mick Rubs, if you have a hookup with Gerbach, just get a cameo or something and just have him say that to Jason and I.
The way Max said that, if he ever got with a woman that had kids, he would be the world's greatest stepdad.
Jason, I've had to do that for soldiers. Just like, listen, dude, I know things suck right now, but I'm here. If you need me, I'm here. Sergeant Mac, I'm here, bud. Just bring it in. Time traveling abusive stepfather. I will work on the screenplay, Mac. Thanks, Prairie. I appreciate it. I hope any trauma I dump on you guys, just know like this is how I deal with it now. I used to just kind of internalize it, and it turned into like self-destructive behaviors. But see, now I make fun of it, therefore taking its power over me away, and I make jokes. And Prairie, if you make that screenplay, dude, let me know. I'll edit for you. Just give me a credit.
Right into the bottom.
Yeah, sorry, Stuart. Yeah, just except my bottomless pit was like 4 inches of drywall.
I didn't have any. My dad was close enough that there was none of that. But there was a dude. I'll never forget this. The guy did teach me how to bowl, which I appreciated, but he was a piece of shit. My mom had all these straws in the house because she had a problem, and so she would put straws in my drinks all the time. And she had opened a soda for me and put a straw in it, and I was probably 9 or 10, and I'm drinking a soda with a straw, and this dude looks at me, and it was like his first time meeting me, and here he is in our house, these homeless Negroes my mom used to date. And he looks at me and he goes, "You drink that like a faggot. Only faggots use straws." And I was like, and my mom just goes, like,
as she forgot she used that straw the night before, and Jason started squeaking because he's getting his generic cola infused with a little blow. I
was like, how you look over for the adult to like save you, and then they don't.
Yeah.
And then that's when I realized I was like, you're on your own now, kid.
You're never getting any help from. You're not getting any help from this parental unit.
Yeah, no. You should see me at a restaurant. Like, would you like a straw? No straws.
You keep that shit away from me.
Straws.
With your bullshit straw. No.
I'm just breaking the straw. Get the fuck out of here with that goddamn straw. I'm a man, goddammit.
Throw it at the server. Fuck you. He sits down in front of you, and you're just like, trying to say something, bro?
Yeah. I just figured you'd like a straw with your. You know what? You and that guy, you can get fucked, okay?
You just get close to him like, did I ask for a fucking straw? Okay, so we're an hour in and have not even touched this phenomenal topic that you found for us, Jason. Okay, he needs a timeout. He's doing his Jason. I gotta catch my breath.
The way you said that, I picture I just picture an innocent fucking server in those pocket full of straws. Grab him by the fucking
You're like reaching into the server's apron and just, did I ask for one?
The picture in my head of how ridiculous.
Like your date's looking at you like, are you all right? And you're just, no.
Like, I may have some undiagnosed trauma around straws.
Have you ever had your sexuality questioned when you were 8 years old because you were drinking out of a straw? No, I have. Jason, it doesn't sound like you grew up great. I didn't. No, so
Yeah, I just
do you want to
open my mouth?
Yeah. Do you want to split nap now? Can we go back to the trauma? No. We're going with the bacon cheese fries with little chives on them, or what? What are we doing here?
Do you want to split? Oh shit. That was funny. Mac.
Guys, Jason's got the giggles.
I just
got the
keep
giggles.
picturing in my head between you getting kicked as a little kid, because I picture you like a little kid in your little tighty whities.
I was fully clothed when I got punted through the wall.
Running around in your underoos trying to save the
We couldn't afford those.
you had bootleg under.
Yeah, you know.
You had characters no one even.
I had like the combo Captain America, Superman underoos. Yeah.
You had Mexican flea market.
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh. Okay. Mac, how do you think private equity's entry has reshaped the youth sports landscape in the U.S.?
Well, I think to answer that, Jason, go ahead and control your giggles, because I know that's what you're doing.
Yep.
Somebody already brought up the kind of complete envelopment of especially EPL teams by private equity or sovereign wealth funds. And you got to think in English football, you know, on the continent, you know, these teams are closely tied to the communities in which they're based in. And you're seeing fewer and fewer of these clubs owned by the community like they used to be. So the way it's set up, you know, they have their own internal feeder systems. So you got to think in a lot of these places already, using the EPL as an example, you know, you've already had a push of private equity into youth sport, right? Here in the States, though, which I thought it was really interesting, guys. Jason sent me a video that kind of let into this topic, where they were interviewing this private equity guy, talking about how his firm bought into this particular youth league, saying, you know, we've seen private equity infect professional sports at the very top here in the United States. We've seen it hit college sports. Why not youth sports? Well, here's the thing. Professional sports in the United States, of all our big four leagues, the league itself has capped how much private equity can control in each franchise. The NFL is currently set at 10%. It increases to 15% next year. Okay. Now, collegiate sports, we haven't seen the private equity really have an effect on the sports scene at the college level yet. We've had schools who've spun off their athletic programs. Well, not the programs, but like the programming that the athletic programs provide. You know, we've seen some schools, University of Utah, the first big one, right, that signed a private equity deal. You know, the Big Ten was in the running to start, you know, sell off some of their ownership of Big Ten Network. and other programming, the company that they set up to control like, TV rights and merchandise and things like that for the Big Ten. But that got shot down by University of Michigan and University of Southern California. So thank you, both those schools, for doing that. And, the Big 12 is talking about selling part of theirs. That hasn't happened yet. So we haven't seen private equity really get its hooks into college sports. So when I'm watching that clip, Jason, I'm like, what the fuck is this guy talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because he's full of shit.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that private equity, now keep in mind in minor league baseball, private equity is a problem. One private equity company, Diamond Baseball Holdings, owns 35% of all minor league teams now. That's a problem. Right? But the fact that they're gobbling up youth leagues, right? And this isn't just like, well, my kid, plays in this league, I'll dump some money in that. No, they're buying up whole leagues at the state level.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I'm like, how are parents okay with this?
Did you see that thing where it talked about, and this was kind of shocking to me, that they started buying facilities so they can have all those tournaments?
Yes.
Right? The multi-use facilities.
Yeah. And this is the thing. They're going into cash-strapped areas. And what I've noticed, because once you sent me that video, I was like, oh shit, I only got 30 minutes left at work. I'm getting nothing done the rest of the day. Right? So I start looking. I got off work, took my kid to karate, got my run in, took my shower. I came right back to the laptop, Jason. And for about 4 hours, I sat here and just looking at all this.
Mm-hmm.
They are going into Midwestern cities, primarily Rust Belt cities, with publicly owned facilities, right?
Mm-hmm.
It could be like, say, Youngstown State. They moved basketball arenas to one closer to campus. Mm-hmm. Private equity bought out their old one. Mm-hmm. Right?
Mm-hmm.
They're going to cash-strap municipal areas and purchasing parks, purchasing fields, and purchasing, basketball arenas. So like you said, they can hold these tournaments, right? And they put this veneer on it, right? This is going to be the Northeast Ohio spring baseball tournament, right? We're going to have 40 teams from across the state. Go ahead and look at the rosters that they're inviting, though, right? It's not your local team. It's not the Roseville Giants, that are coming in, sponsored by Pippinger Plumbing. No.
Wow.
Right?
That felt real.
Well, Pippinger Plumbing was the company that sponsored my Little League baseball team.
Oh, is that what it was? That
yeah,
just felt so real right there.
Right?
But no, these are big time teams where people are paying quite a bit of money. Before the show, I was talking to my buddy Bert Cooper about this, and one of the things that we were talking about was like, when you think about, and we've talked about this multiple times on the show, the class dynamic of who now can afford these kinds of sports. And the one of the shorts I know I sent you was a video of this working class family where they have a son that's excelling at the U14 level of travel baseball.
Now, keep in mind, before you go on, keep in mind, this kid just pitches. It's not like, you took your turn on the mound and then you went and played in the field. All he does is pitch.
At 14.
He's 14. Now, keep in mind, Jason, what was it? Last year we talked about what age group has the highest rate of occurrences of Tommy John injuries. It is young men ages 15 to 19.
Before they turn 18, these kids are getting Tommy John surgery, and it's making them a little stronger. They're able to throw a little harder. For a while, it was becoming an elective procedure. In certain elite circles, they pay for his private trainer. Again, they're just working on pitching for 14 years old. And the parents got an RV because they felt it was cheaper than hotels for all the travel. And this isn't travel like, we used to travel where maybe you go to the neighboring county. This is all over the country. This family is going. So the mom had to get a job where she could work remotely to pay for her son's sports. So basically at this point, there's no basically. At this point, the parents are living, they're working to pay for this child, because at this point, he's kind of the cash cow. Is why I wanted to add in the whole 13 thing, because at a certain age, around 8th grade, it's no longer, oh, my son's going to play or my daughter's going to play on the blah, blah, blah team. It's, you have to make the blah, blah, blah team.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're turning away very, very young people and telling them that they're not good enough. And
dude, Jason, the town I live in here in Hope Mills, they take Little League baseball so seriously. You can only like elect to play until you're 9.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And then they literally they whittle the number of teams down for like the local league. And then they just play in statewide tournaments and then make like Little League World Series, the Dixie tournament that they have for the Southeast, all that, dude. Like, you know how Little League baseball split into like Little League and then and Cal Ripken started his own?
Yeah.
They send teams to both. But it's like 9 years old, dude. 9 years old. That's when you stop.
A young age to be super competitive. And then there's these things that happen to kids. Like, we've all went to school with a kid. And I mean kid, I mean, you know, male or female, it doesn't matter because kids grow differently. That could be the biggest kid in class. and when your kid's the biggest kid in class, it's like, oh, so-and-so is going to grow up to be a blah, blah, blah because they're the biggest kid in class. It's like, not necessarily. There's so much that goes into it. And there's not a roadmap to success the way people want there to be. Like, oh, I'll just be a little nicer than Marv Marinovich, and then I'll have a professional kid, and I'll make sure they just don't do drugs, and then they'll be a superstar athlete. Forgetting the fact that Marv Marinovich was a professional athlete.
Yeah.
at a very high level. And trainer. Like, just throw all that out the window, and because you have Google and you know, played a little high school something, you know, your kid will be the next superstar. So it's really playing on parents' hopes and dreams, and a lot of ego as well. It really caters to a certain ego. And Bert had made a point. He said, if you think about an injury that's very common, and who gets this injury a lot, is women tear ACLs quite regularly. It's a pretty common injury. And Bert goes, you know, it'd be real easy for me to get it was a certain certification that would allow him to be a certain kind of personal trainer that would be recognized across the country. It's like a very serious certification. Yeah. And he goes, and with that certification, I can say that I specialize in training that will help strengthen your ACL. And I could only work with young women between the ages of this and this, because this is the age where these ACLs usually tear. And he goes, I could probably make a 6-figure living doing that. Easy. Because this is what we're talking about. We're talking about this industry is so wide, and it's not just venture capital. It's like every little aspect of athletics. There's kind of, I don't want to necessarily grifter money to be made, but
yeah, it's like the secondary and tertiary market of sport, right? Because we can sit here and talk about, okay, these private equity, these venture capital firms are gobbling up, you know, what used to be, you know, rec league and AAU territory, right? Yeah. But what other markets service the sport? Equipment has to be produced, sourced, and then acquired, right? You already hit the nail on the head with the medical part. All right. It's not just prevented. It's not just like us going to see the doc because we're sick. It's preventative medicine, right? It's orthopedic medicine. You know, it's osteopathic medicine. You know, it's all those things, you know, nutrition.
Oof.
Right? Like, what do you think that woman's RV is filled up with? Probably 20 different types of protein powder, right? Protein enriched food, which is heavily processed, by the way. Like, that's what kills me about all this, right? is they're like, you can get 42 grams of protein in this one serving, right? Yeah. And a lot of it is very processed, very high in sugars, or you swing the other way, right? Where it's like grass-fed meat. So for that one, like, for lack of a better term, healthy beef jerky or healthy Slim Jim, it's $9 a stick, you know? So you're going broke trying to keep this kid fed properly, you know? Like, there are so many other markets that feed the sport that this is the only example of trickle down economics actually working for, you know, the things underneath it, you know? And that's the crazy part, because like he's absolutely right. When you look at like physical therapists now, it's not just to get you back on your feet after injury. You have preventative maintenance therapists, right? To help strengthen the area around the ACL. Oh, you've got elbow problems? Let's go ahead and target forearms, right? How do we strengthen the forearm? Rotator cuff. There's another huge injury that's on the upswing in young kids. You know,
so insane.
Yeah, dude. I remember a rotator cuff growing up was what the guy who already pitched like 1,200 innings, like you guys remember Major League, the pitcher that was like, I can only throw it like 83 miles an hour now, but I got, you know, he's got like the Vaseline in his belt. You know, he scuffs up the ball. You know, he's the guy that said, "Fuck you, Joe Boo," and then drank his rum.
Hit with the bat.
Yeah. You know, that was the guy that had rotator cuff surgery. Or like your grandfather finally, it went after 65 years of little to no preventative maintenance and him just hard living. You know, those people got rotator cuff injuries. Now you're having kids get them, because how do they teach you to pitch now? It's not to pitch, it's to throw. We want velocity. Yeah. You know, we want some stank on that, right? Don't worry about that changeup. What we're going to do is you're going to throw a hard slider too, which what does that do, everybody? Puts a lot of stress on the elbow,
the tendon,
which leads to what? Tears in the ulnar collateral ligament, which leads to Tommy John surgery. You know, it's you know, it's nuts, because as private equity gobbles up these leagues, what is private equity and venture capital known for? Right? We strip it down to its bare essentials, get as much profit as we can out of it.
Yep.
And then we sell it off for pieces to make even more profit. Okay. Because like, I'm not trying to insult anybody's intelligence here, but does anybody know how private equity buys these organizations, whether they're large companies or local sports leagues? Okay. They don't put the money up themselves. They take out loans with the intention to purchase something. And when they purchase it, the equity firm doesn't carry that debt. Oh no, my friends. Oh no. That debt is then assigned to that company they just bought. So day one, that company is neck deep in debt, right? So they'll roll with it for a couple years. That private equity firm, that venture capital company will roll with it a few years, take those profits, not pay off the debt. No, they will not service that debt, because the investors need to get their share, right? So then after a certain number of years goes by, they're like, hey, you got to start paying this shit back. And when that doesn't happen, when they fail to do so, they'll put that company into bankruptcy. They'll sell off what they can, take more profit, and that thing just collapses in on itself. It ceases to exist. That's how private equity and venture capital purchase companies. They never put up any of their own money. You know, that's why this is dangerous. Because if these local leagues go down the tubes, right, what is there left for the kids in the area? Nothing, right? Or we get option B here, where it's just the rich kids that have access to it, and they're the only ones that can play because their parents keep feeding money into it, which keeps it propped up because it gives their kids a platform in which where they can build film, you know, get into college, go to college, get more film, get drafted in the big leagues, right? we're seeing more and more of this, because when you look at a lot of these leagues that are being purchased by private equity, who's a part owner? It's some athlete that we all know of, and their kids are playing in it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Do you really think that athlete's going to allow this company to shutter this, league? No, the company doesn't want to do that. They don't want to burn this bridge with this very famous athlete. So they'll keep it going too. And they'll just keep raising the price of getting your kid in this league. Or, oh, you want to be in this league? Well, you're required to attend 3 camps that we also host at this price tag.
Thank you. The last part, at this price tag.
Mm-hmm.
Which is really sad, because on the flip side, I watched the dumbest thing in the world last night for me to watch right before going to bed. There was this Vice documentary, and it was called "Why Are We Putting Our Kids in Prison?" And I was like, oh, this seems like a dumb thing to watch before going to bed. And I watched it, and it pissed me off. Basically, there's this town, there's a town in South Carolina, and these places are all over. Remember back in the day, we'd watch talk shows, and it would be like the Cash Me Outside girl, someone like that. Like, Sally tells her mom to fuck right off. I don't give a fuck. I'm 14. I do what I want to do. I such strange dick. Right? Remember that? And it's like,
Yep.
Like, Sally, why do you put your mom through this? Right? I don't care. I do what I want to do. I such strange dick. And she's lying. She's just yelling. And then eventually the guy comes out. He's like, you're a little whore. You're a whore. Shut up, whore. And then the mom's crying and the little girl's crying, or being more defiant, and they're yelling, and the crowd is going crazy because they just can't wait to see these little kids get yelled at, because they feel like, maybe if they get yelled at, they'll stop cursing out their moms because they got hit as children, and they just want to see someone get the shit beat out of them. So it's like this whole horrible thing that would happen like at least once or twice a week on every show. Every show, Ricky Lake did it, and Montel Williams did it, and
Maury
totally until Maury found the secret of "You're Not the Father."
Yeah.
But and I watched them all, and these kids, it's horrible. Well, there was a thing that came out in the late 70s called Scared Straight, where they took these kids that were actually kind of at-risk youth, and it was a different time where young people were really violent. And they took them to prison, and they had prisoners basically say, I'm gonna fuck you in the butt. You know what happens to come here? You get fucked in the butt. I'll fuck you in the butt. We're gonna fuck you in the butt, then we're gonna kill you, because that's what we do in prison. We kill everybody and fuck them in the butt. And that was like, a half-hour thing, and it was supposed to be so scary. And then they made a whole show called Beyond Scared Straight. They used to show some of these programs where they take kids, spend the night in jail, or a weekend in jail, or prison, not jail, prison, and have prisoners and guards yell at you for like the first 4 hours. And then after they're done yelling, you're like, hey, don't go to prison.
Yeah.
Right. And then they go back.
Like, listen, Junior, you only come here if you're into being beaten on and fucked in the butt. And you get like the one kid that's like, what if, I'm really into both.
What do you think? Hi.
Guys, we got a live one.
You're cute. So there's no like, this is kind of one of those places, right? But when you watch those shows, the kids are supposed to be really bad. So the Vice guy, who's a comedian that's not really that funny, he goes and interviews 3 of the kids that are going to this camp. And they're all from lower working class families.
Mm-hmm.
And the first kid is this little white kid, and he can't be more than like 10. And the guy goes, well, what are you going to the camp for? And he goes, well, I was like messing with my friend, and I pushed him into a locker, and he told the teacher, and I got in trouble. And so the kid he would always look over at the camera. He was very cognizant of the camera. And he's 10, and he's a small 10-year-old boy, and his mom is a small woman. And so the kid asked the show host, he goes, can we go down to the creek now? Can we go to the lake? And I go, sure, we'll go to the lake. And the kid has a dog, and he just wants to play with his dog at the lake, and he's just a normal kid. And the guy goes, well, why'd you push your friend in the locker? Why'd you push the boy in the locker? He goes, well, he didn't say anything to me the last time I did it, so I didn't think it was a problem. We were just kind of goofing around. And I guess I hurt him. I wasn't really trying to. And the guy goes, well, where's your dad? And the kid goes, my dad died. So the guy's kind of like, oh, shit. And you just see this interaction with this guy and this kid, and there's nothing about this kid that's violent. He's not talking back. He's just a kid.
Yeah.
And he goes to the next kid. The next kid is a high-functioning autistic with Asperger's, and he punched his mom. When he was asked why he punched his mom, he goes, my mom told me if anybody hits you, you hit him back. And my mom, he goes, I think my mom might have hit me on accident. He actually spoke very proper, but you could tell he was autistic. He wouldn't make eye contact. And you can tell he was trying to like figure out why it was wrong. And he goes, well, I think she might have hit me on accident with her phone, but when she hit me, I got mad, and she did apologize. So I'm sorry that the whole thing happened. Like he has no idea where he's going. His mom is like, I'm scared for him because he's a bigger kid and he gets mad and I can't control him. So I'm hoping this can help. No one in these facilities cares about your child because all the children that go there are potential criminals. So everyone that goes there is not an individual case. It's just intake. Mm-hmm. These are real prison guards. And so they're yelling at these kids and they're making them do push-ups, which doesn't happen when you go to prison. And some kids have asthma. The kid with autism, they're just hollering at him and he can't physically do a push-up. He was a very doughy young man that wasn't very active. And they're like, why can't you do a push-up? And he looks at the guy and goes, I do not have the strength in my arms to do that. He said it just like that. And he goes, because you're a fat piece of shit. And he's like, the kid doesn't understand this, right? Yeah. So they take the kids inside and some of them are crying and they're hollering at them and they're manhandling these kids. It's really, really fucking hard to watch. And they manhandle the kids and then they take them into the room with these prisoners. And the prisoners are, you come in here with that long hair, you get fucked in the butt. And they're yelling at these kids. And what do you do? Oh, you push people in lockers. Oh, you a bully. And mind you, this little white kid, I'm not joking. He's smaller than all the kids there. He is a tiny little boy. And they keep calling him a bully. And they're yelling at him more. And the kid's like, man, I shouldn't be here. The third kid the guy actually went to go talk to was a wrong place, wrong time thing where he was with some dudes in a bathroom. They jumped somebody and beat him up bad. The police were there because they had police at the school. That kid got a felony, or pending felony, he was saying. Yeah. He's an athlete. Smaller kid too, but he was an athlete. He had all these trophies in his house. And he was probably the most like put together kid. And the guards were trying their hardest to break him because he felt like he was really only there to help his court case. Mm-hmm. Right. And there comes a time where they're asking all these kids, the prisoners are like, what did you do? And this one kid goes, I didn't do my homework and I talked back to my mom. And the prisoner's whole hard demeanor falls and they start laughing because they're like, why are you here? You didn't do anything. These kids weren't bad, but their moms deemed them bad. Yeah. And I say all this, it's a long roundabout way to say, when you have something to do, when there's somewhere for you to go, I'm not saying trouble, you don't get in any trouble. Trouble's a little harder to get into. Mm-hmm. And these parents worked jobs, plural. They're tired. So what they deem as a bad kid, my son is bad, is like, he didn't do his homework. He talked in class. He told me no. And we can get even deeper into the relationship some of these kids had with their mom. One, all the kids except for two, their moms didn't even come to get them at the end of the thing. and your heart just breaks because you're like, you put this young man through all this fuck shit for 72 hours, and you can't fix anything in 72 hours.
No, no. And the thing is someone brought up a good point. A lot of judges that make kids go to these camps have ownership stakes in the camps, or they have like an endorsement thing with these camps, or they represent a state that is contracted out to a company where it's mandated they have to have X amount of beds filled. There is a definite conflict of interest in this. 1. 2, at no point, I don't give a shit if we're talking late 70s here or now, right? Sending kids to be scared by real life prisoners. We've all been kids. How stupid were all of you? I was an idiot. Okay? Oh, there's a prisoner yelling at me. I'm going to be gone in fucking 3 days. You're going to be stuck here. Like, I would have been that guy, running my fucking mouth. Right? Kid, you're not going to have a lot of success stories doing that. But getting back to what you just said, give a kid something to do. If it's sports, if it's art, right? If it's music, give them something to fucking do. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, I was a big pain in the ass, right? And I freely admit that. I would have been a lot worse off if I didn't have football, if I didn't have boxing. Like, I probably would have been in prison because I was a little shithead, Like, we know this for a fact. This isn't conjecture. This isn't a pie in the sky lib idea. This is fucking scientific fact. But what have we had nothing of since the 1970s? The stripping away of arts, of band, of sports, and literally making it so only people who have money can do these things. I really think it's only going to get worse when private equities starts getting into charter and private schools.
That like, when I'm watching this thing, I'm thinking these are the kids that you're going to go to public school, right? You're probably not excelling academically, and once you're deemed bad, then that's just kind of how your parents see you. There was another thing the host of the show said that I thought, he only said a couple things I found kind of interesting. He goes, it broke my heart that for 72 hours, for most of these kids, this was the only male energy they were ever around. And to think that the only men you're around are fucking hollering at you for damn near 72 hours. And again, you're all the same to them.
Yeah, like, dude, you're either the guard that's like verbally berating them while they're trying to do a push-up, right? Or you see the prisoner that's telling you, oh, I'm going to fuck you in the butt and then beat you up and then fuck you in the butt again. Like, you don't want that to be presented to a kid and he leaves the facility like, well, now I got to go out and be a hard ass, or, like, it makes, I've never understood that. Like, for me, I went to boot camp, and the big thing is, and you can ask Red and anybody else that we have in chat that's been in the military, the whole thing is we got to tear you down to build you up. At that point, granted, you're 18 and your frontal lobe still isn't fully developed, but you're an adult. You made that choice, right? These kids didn't have one, and to put them in a position like that, like for me, like say my kids were little shitheads, right? I'm still not going to send them to a place like that. No fucking way.
Well, because you're there, right? That was the thing. Like, one of the moms, so they have a parent camp, right? The parents have to go for a couple hours while they yell at the parents, Dr. Phil style. And the little white kid's mom, he was the only white, there's a couple of white kids there. And he's like, well, what's your problem? She goes, I give in to my son too easy. I think I feel bad because his dad died. And the guy goes, well, was his dad in his life before he died? And she goes, no, not really. He goes, well, the motherfucker was never there. This is a you problem. You have to get over it. And I'm like, first of all, you can't really talk to people like that because it's not like, oh, this is common sense, stupid. And number two, like, I don't know, like, my dad was kind of in and out of my life, but it wasn't because he was a piece of shit. It's just he had financial issues until he got a little older. And that happens with people, right? They're up and down financially. These kids weren't coming from, a metropolitan area. This was like Charleston, South Carolina.
Yeah.
So again, these moms aren't working corporate jobs. These moms are working at the Piggly Wiggly and the Walmart and Amazon if they're lucky. So, and again, everybody was kind of struggling in their own way. And when you have a kid with any sort of challenge, and hyperactivity is a fucking challenge, right? The autistic young man really was the one that broke my heart because no one understood or cared to understand that yelling at him is really not going to work because he just doesn't really get it. But because he functioned at a decent level, right? The kid could speak and he could respond back with like, I am scared. He would say things like, I am scared. You are scaring me. They kind of almost got off on it in a way. And so at the end, these kids have a quote unquote psychological evaluation. I have no idea who was doing it. And the host goes,
Dr. Phil.
It was Dr. Phil level. I'm gonna tell you what happened. So the lady asked the autistic young man, do you know what you did? He goes, yes, I hit my mom. She goes, you hit your mother? Right? Everybody instantly reacts. And she goes, well, that's wrong. He goes, well, my mother hit me and maybe my mom should have told me that there should be a rule to the hitting, that family members can hit you and it's okay. But I was told by my mom that if anyone hits you, you hit them back. And so the kid goes away and the lady writes their notes. And the guy goes, well, what do you think of him? Like, you understand he's autistic. She goes, I'm not really trained to deal with that. But, you heard him talk. He uses some big words. And I think he knows right from wrong. So it's good that he's here. And you sit there and you go, no, it's not good that he's here. And this kid wasn't on a path to ending up in prison. This kid, you're trying to, the whole thing when you talk about breaking people and building them up and teamwork and blah, 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 there was no team activities for these kids. This was individual punishment constantly. And they kept saying, we have to break this kid. No, you haven't broken that one yet. And it's like, well, what do you think's going to happen when they cry? You don't have them for 3 to 6 months like you have them in a boot camp. There's no bonding activities they're doing with their, because they put those kids individually in a cell and then turn the lights out. This went on for 72 hours. They asked the oldest kid, who was like the athlete, he was like 14. And he was like, are you like, how does it make you feel? Like, are you scared? He goes, not that I'm necessarily scared. He goes, but it's very uncomfortable when the lights go out. Yeah. And you can't hear anything other than your breath in a prison. And there's like 9-year-olds in here. And you have to ask yourself, what is a 9-year-old doing so bad?
How is a 9-year-old on a criminal path?
But it goes back to, you're not listening. I'll show you. And your kid gets to be, look, we all had, not all, but all of us that are parents, we have to admit this. We have kids and they're at kindergarten, and then the kindergartner gets a good grade or a star on something. And, he's a fucking genius, right? Or she's a fucking genius. But it's kindergarten. Yeah. That doesn't mean first grade. Oh, my first grade, I got 100 on the, it doesn't mean anything. He's not a fucking genius. She's not a genius. They're just first grade. And eventually they get to a point where they're a little harder to control. They start to smell funny when they play outside. They say no more. They don't do what they're told when they're told. And depending on your personal workload and how much time you can dedicate to giving them really good habits, we're going to turn off the television and we're going to read. We're going to read.
Yeah.
Right. we're going to write, or we're going to do this. We're going to do this together, right? There's no iPads here for the both of us, right? That's hard to do. That takes a certain amount of dedication in the parent as well. And if you're working, again, multiple jobs, you don't get to spend as much time as you'd like to. And the chores aren't done, and you're getting reports from the school. Depending on how there's a lot of factors involved, but it's like, well, you're bad.
Yeah.
And you look at coaches like Coach Beam that so tragically got killed in Oakland. One of the most tragic things that happened in 2025, in my opinion, because you see how many lives this man touched positively from just being a PE teacher, and I think he taught history or something.
He would history and like social studies, civics,
right? And then also just helping kids out that didn't have to make it to the league coaching.
Yeah.
It's not about, like, Will is the same way, who you guys have seen on the show numerous times. It's not about the guys he has in the league or that's playing at the collegiate level. It's about everybody that goes into that program finally has an adult that's looking out for them. They know all the teachers. They're following up with them to make sure their assignments are turned in, and they're saying, good job. That goes a long way.
Yeah.
It goes a long fucking way. Good job.
Just knowing that you've got somebody there that puts in the time to check up with your teachers, right? Yeah. To hold you accountable. The guy or the woman that you do not want to let down under any circumstance, because all this person's done is have your back. You know, that you're absolutely right. That goes so far with someone, especially when you're still developing. You know, when you're a teenager, you're in the weirdest part of your life. It doesn't get any fucking weirder. Boners are happening, you know, like
hair growing out of places you didn't wash.
You know, your voice is doing weird things, you know. And Drea, sorry, you're getting just the guy side. I can only imagine what a young lady's going through as a teenager. My daughter just gets mean. You know, you know, but like, you're in the weirdest part of your life. Everything is changing physically. You're learning about your world, right? So you're mentally and emotionally like changing too, you know. And when you have no one there to, like, I don't know, bounce questions off of, or just have a simple discussion. Like, dude, do you know how nice it would have been if I didn't have to go to my buddy and be like, yo, dude, I'm like shooting loads everywhere. I cannot help it. You know, like they're just like, boo, 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 boo. You know, like
the viscosity is frightening.
Yeah. Like it's like a machine gun. I don't know what to do at this point. You know, like it would have been great to have like somebody like, bro, don't sweat it. Like, it's fine. Just, you're going to have to do laundry more often, you know, like,
you're on a comedy roll today.
You know what I mean? But like, so many kids now, like, even when I was growing up, dude, we had so many guys that like their parents or their grandparents worked at like the mill, and when the mill closed, they had to go like work at Handyman Hardware for the first half of the day, and then they went to like the Walmart warehouse to work the night shift. Like, they had to work 2 jobs. Nobody was fucking there, man. So you had literally a bunch of teenagers running around, like with little to no supervision, trying to figure out, you know, what the fuck am I doing in this body that's doing all this weird things? What am I doing in this group where, you know, we morally know right from wrong, but is it really that bad to do like this thing? You know, like, because you're a teenager and you know, you're pushing every boundary you can, you know, as shitty as a coach X's and O's wise, and my head coach was, Coach Zelnak was a phenomenal guy, right? Because I had moved into La Brea, which is where I graduated high school from, and my other football coaches didn't give a shit. They did not care. I got to La Brea, and dude, I had moved into the school district. I'm a couple days late, right, before I got to practice for the first time. So he's like, you missed Monday and Tuesday practice. That's 28 laps. What? Right? I just moved here, dude, you know? But I ran him, you know, and he did. He checked in with my teachers. You know, he knew that I was essentially raising my brother because my mom worked in Cleveland and we lived in Warren. That's fucking about an hour and 15 minutes one way. So like I would go home, start homework. My brother would get dropped off, you know, start cooking dinner. He'd show up and just be like, hey man, everything good? You know, like the last thing I wanted to do was let this guy down. You know, I didn't want to do that, you know, and looking back on it now, there were a lot of people that I grew up with, you know, that didn't have that, you know, like Warren G. Harding. If you know football, Warren G. Harding puts out a lot of talent into the NFL. You know what their head coach does not do? Any of the shit Coach Zelnak did. He did not give a fuck. His job was to win football games. That was it. Put asses in the stadium that held like 5,000 people, you know, and fucking win football games. I'm not saying he was a bad dude morally, but his squads had over 100 kids on them. You think he's going to, you know, it's not happening. Right. And I hung out with some of those kids. They didn't have that kind of backstop the way I had, you know? And it's truly a shame because you hit the nail on the head. This is tied to the collapse, you know, of the American manufacturing sector, which, to kind of bring it back to the topic, was largely brought about by private equity.
Yep.
You know?
Deregulation. Yeah.
So it's just, I mean, I've been saying this for years, and I'm glad people are kind of catching up. Private equity has done nothing but ruin everything it touches.
Mm-hmm.
There is no net positive to private equity. There is no net positive to venture capital. There is no positive to it at all. You know, I talked to a couple guys at work that are really big into the EPL, and they're like, but look at what these firms and these sovereign investment funds have done for these clubs. Yeah, that's not good, dude. They're pricing the fans that have been coming to these matches since they stood up. They can't afford to go anymore.
And what do you think happens when these people get in there as far as just the experience? Because they know that you want to capture every moment. Was it Black Bear Sports Group owns all these ice rinks for hockey, which is a huge sport, traveling hockey.
Mm-hmm.
You're not allowed to bring your phone in if you're a parent. There is no recording of the game. There's no picture taking. You got to pay them for that privilege.
Yeah. This
is the world that, you know, it may sound odd to a lot of people that don't have kids in this level of traveling athletics. And this isn't just like hockey and football and baseball. This is fucking cheer. And cheer is massive.
Yeah, cheer is a big one. You're starting to see it with mixed martial arts, MMA clubs.
Oh, wow.
Another huge one, right? And this is trickling down in every sport, like you said, Jason. Like this isn't just our big four here, right? Do they get the majority of the airtime? Sure. But we're seeing it in women's basketball now.
Ooh, definitely women's basketball.
Right?
Yeah. Soccer?
Definitely in football. You know, we're starting to see it now. You know, we're having lines drawn in professional soccer here in the United States because the MLS is getting ready to open up to private equity. Right? Mm-hmm. But then you have USL, which is setting up a promotion relegation pyramid and still has community-owned teams like the Oakland Roots, you know, and the Oakland Soul. You know, they believe in having communities own franchises where MLS is like, no fucking way. We want that money. We want franchise valuations to go through the roof, you know? So it's unfortunately we're seeing these battle lines drawn, and maybe it's because people just don't know. It can also be because they refuse to look at it that way, right? They just see money's coming into this team that I love, that I've invested so much in, and this money's going to keep the team here. Nope, no guarantee of that either. You know, I mean, dude, I don't know if you saw the state of Iowa is setting up a fund to try and get the Chicago Bears to move to Iowa because
leave the city with 1 million people in it for the biggest city has like 500,000 people in it.
Yeah, because the state of Illinois and the state of Indiana, the Bears are looking at spots. Excuse me, everyone, in both states for a new stadium, right? Because they want space where the state, the municipality, and the city are going to pay for it. You know, so it's
Slipknot singing the national anthem for the first time.
Yeah, you know, like you know, but this is what we're seeing, you know, like and people need to understand, you know, how many of us read articles about people bitching about the cost of a ticket for the Super Bowl? Yep. Bro, that's not going to be just the Super Bowl anymore. If private equity gets their hooks into these teams, you're not going to be able to afford to go.
Did I tell you about what happened to Will?
No.
Will told me? Oakland High plays Oakland Tech. Will coaches at Oakland High. Will sent me this video, and it's a dude complaining that a scalper bought, I didn't tell you this, a scalper bought all the tickets for an Oakland High versus Oakland Tech basketball game. It's just an inner city rivalry. Bought all the tickets and was selling them for, wait a minute, hold on, was selling them for $40 a pop.
And how much did the school charge for the tickets?
Like $5. It's a high school basketball game.
Wow, man.
This wasn't held at the Coliseum. It wasn't at fucking Laney College. This is a game at fucking Oakland High. In a dingy gym that Will and the other coach clean out.
The floor is named after like an alum who graduated in 53, you know, and donated some money to have it refloored.
maybe Dame did something. Maybe the Dame Lillard gym or something. But I mean, I'm being totally serious.
Yeah.
Like when Will, I was like, "Are you serious?" He goes, "Yeah, this is like the second year that's happened."
See, and that's insane. Like, I do enjoy being home watching games, right? Because some fans I cannot be around, right? I can't imagine going to a Patriots game because I can't stand most other Patriots fans. Like, honestly,
want to hear all the N words not being at a rap concert.
Yeah, I'm good. You know, just I heard my N words when I went to see Wu-Tang. Okay, like that's
this is worse than Wu-Tang.
Your mouth is filthier than RZA's. Oh. You listen to that rap shit, don't you? Hey, get this fucker over here. You hear him? Fucking pussy. Who's got my Dunkins?
Oh, God.
Are you smoking in the stadium? Fuck you, dude.
This is all Mac.
I'm fucking wicked.
This is what you hear as you walk into Foxborough.
Yeah. But keep in mind, it's 40 white guys saying it.
With the same intensity. And the A. And the A.
Yeah. And they're all redheads, okay? All of them.
Like, it's so... Thinking that someone's scalping tickets to a high school basketball game. Thinking that someone is charging
and then charging 8 times the amount for those tickets,
and then charging parents, right? And then to record their own kids playing. Like, this is not the future. This is now.
Yeah. You know, and the thing is, it's like, I believe it's in Charleston. Their rink is like you said, but they have it set up with cameras, so it's like when you go ride a roller coaster.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you want to picture your kid scoring that goal? Guess what? I've got this one with this great little frame, and that'll be $90. You know, like,
and you're like, if you want it, or you could be the shitty parent that takes it with the phone and then get kicked out. When we think of RoboCop and all these dark dystopian Mad Max and all this shit, when you watch something about little kids going to a jail because they didn't do their homework and spoke back to their mother, you have to at some point go, I guess we're in it. There is no more late stage this. There is no more the eroding. Like it is, we're in the middle of it now. These are not good things. You don't have to be great at anything. If I die tomorrow, I would love for my kids to know, I just want you to be decent human beings.
Yeah.
You don't have to be the greatest whatever. I just want you to be decent human beings. And for the most part, when I see those guys, I get so excited to be around them because they're decent human beings, right? They're not embarrassments. Please and thank you. Super polite. That's really all you want. Everything else is a bonus. I guess I don't think it's hard for parents to say out loud, but we live in a world where decent isn't enough.
Yeah. And that's really what I think the kicker in all this is, because Tony had brought up the fact that we're losing community, right? Like
God, yeah.
you know, we're either like in the death throes of it, or some of us may not even have one to begin with. Right. And let's face it, where do you learn, I guess, that kind of like communal decency? It's in that community. It's in, you know, as cantankerous places as they can be. Union halls were great for that. I grew up in a fucking United Steelworkers Hall. You know, one of the greatest communities I've ever been in. You're going to hear some of the most disgusting language of your life. Yes, they're steelworkers after all, but those guys would do anything for each other. They would do anything for their buddy's family. You know, they would do anything. And it makes it exponentially more difficult to raise good little people, right? Without having that community. I firmly believe in it. It takes a village. I firmly believe in that.
Yeah.
Except in a lot of ways, you know, we don't have that village anymore. You know?
Oof. I mean, if you don't even have, and we talk about this all the time. We've talked about this.
Zahir said they'd even do the thing Meatloaf wouldn't do for love. You're right, Zahir. And Zahir, you can back me up on this. Dude, when you're in the military, like you serve with a ton of people. Some of them you don't even like. You can talk shit to them. But let somebody from another platoon talk shit about them. Oh no, it's fucking face cracking time, right? Like it's just how it is.
That's youth sports too, right? Like you compete against your buddy, and then you guys go get pizza afterwards or whatever, or you see each other at school, or you hang out at practice because everybody has to practice on the same field in different parts of that field or different times. So there's overlapping times where you see each other and make friends. And that's how I had friends through sports and stuff like that. And it's just, when we talk about breaking communal bonds and the end of communal bonds, like that's another thing that venture capital is doing. It's destroying community in the name of exponential growth and profit. And when you
hold on, it's not even just profit, Jason. Who's the profit for? Just the shareholders. That's just it.
Shareholders,
right? This is the thing. Like, there's always been a cantankerous and maybe antagonistic relationship between labor and capital, going all the way back, right? But during the heyday of America, right? We're talking the boomer, the post World War II years, where we had everybody was buying a car, everybody was buying a TV, everybody had a place, right? What was that created by? Companies realizing and having it written into like their charter, we have to maintain good relationships with workers in the communities in which the businesses are in. We have no business if we don't have a community. The minute you have assholes like Jack Welch, and if anybody doesn't know who that is, he became CEO of General Electric in 1979 and was the first very prominent convert to Friedman economics. That's the Chicago School of Economics. He said, don't worry about loyalty because it doesn't fucking matter. Our entire job, General Electric, is not to build jet engines to put into the planes that fly us from Cleveland to San Francisco or into the planes that help fight our wars, right? It is to make sure shareholders make as much profit as possible. That is your responsibility. And what did Jack Welch start leading into? We can become profitable by cutting jobs. We can become profitable by outsourcing. We can be profitable by offshoring, right? We can be profitable by strong arming our suppliers into selling us supplies at lower rates. And he was lauded for it.
Mm-hmm.
Lauded. When he retired in 2001, General Electric was still the most valuable company on the planet. But when he retired, what happened? It all fucking fell in on itself. General Electric is not even in the top 25 most valuable companies anymore, right? That's what private equity and these fucking vulture capitalists do. They destroy entire communities. Fuck these guys.
Yeah. No, it's one of those things that can get real depressing, but I think it's also one of those things that, and it's hard to combat, because if you do have kids that are properly good athletes, you know, you probably want them to go to the AAU teams and stuff like that and not play in your community league. But we all can start community leagues. There's really nothing stopping us but money, depending on.
Yeah, I mean, and you're absolutely right. Like, I would love, like, I've already had a couple ideas that I would like to try, but the problem is, how do we fund them? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I would like to start an actual leftist charter school. Get kids out of these fucking failing schools because, you know, our boomer progenitors are like, well, I don't have any more kids. Why the fuck should I pay taxes? You know, like, I don't give a shit if these schools fail, you know? I would like to start a people's league, right? Where $5 to $10 you pay to get in, and we get these kids, you know, and you start with a sport like soccer, right? You don't need a lot of money. You just need space. Okay. But I need money to rent the space. You know, it's like, it all comes back to, how do I fund something like this? You know, and it's not, as much as I would love to say, okay, kids, coach is going to take you off to go practice soccer. And then, okay, moms and dads, pull out your copy of the manifesto. We're going to go over page 47, right? I would love for that to be the case, but I can't start it that way, right? But I can try and get a place where moms and dads can get together and form those community bonds. The kids have an outlet without having to worry about getting cut. They can just go out there and be kids, hang out with their friends, and play soccer really badly. That's okay. That's still fun.
The thing that sucks is that no one wants to send their kid, and even $5 pay for a league that's not going to give them a certain amount of prestige.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that.
So you really have to, if you really want to do this, oh man, you really have to kind of go the route that like old pastors and preachers used to go. You go into the neighborhood where you live and you knock on doors of the people that have kids, like, hey, I'm starting a thing. And if your kid can't get there, you know, I'll pick them up and take them. I mean, that's a little harder to do now because,
or we do this. Is your kid bad at sports? You know. Well, Billy just likes to read. Not a problem, man. Just get him on down here. Billy, you got to kick the ball. I got to do what? Ooh. Good heads up, Billy. Way to stop it.
Yeah, Mr. Crash this like leftist. Like my grandfather started a church, and he literally went to North Richmond houses and knocked on doors and was like, if you can't take your kid to church, my wife will come pick them up. And he bought my grandma a station wagon. And he was like, this is to pick up the neighborhood children in, and this is how we're going to build our community. And he did. He built the thriving community from that. And I've always appreciated that model because I don't think it goes away. I don't think it changes over time. There's nothing like face-to-face communication, talking to people, showing them where they can go for a safe place. Also letting people know too, like this is an all-around sanctuary, right? This is a safe space for you and your kids and whatever the fuck you believe. Like you're all good here for whatever time your kid's here. If you can't read, there's someone here that can, and they're going to help that kid with their homework.
Yeah.
Like, don't worry about that. Like that's the kind of investment that you can have by doing something, because that's what Will does with Open Gym. That's all Open Gym is for him at Oakland High. People call him up from all over. Hey, I'm moving to Oakland, or I'm thinking about coming to this area. Well, come meet me at Open Gym and we'll talk to the kid. And the first thing they do is, okay, where are you at academically? Where do you need help? And we sit down. Part of this Open Gym is we sit down and do study hall. This isn't, crazy that people do this. I'm sure there's other coaches all over the country that try to do this same type of thing. And the goal isn't always championships, but just producing positive members of society. And I think that's what we're getting at.
Like you said, good kids, like, and it's also because this is America and because we want results now, right? People give up on kids, man, and I will never understand that, because I had some people that didn't give up on me. I had soldiers that their parents gave up on them and the military was it for them.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't give up on them. Were some of them a colossal pain in my ass? Sure. I had a kid who didn't know he had to wash clothes. He just kept buying new ones. And when I did a room inspection, I opened his closet. It was like 5 feet high with dirty fucking clothes.
God damn.
So what do I have to do, Jason? Well, dude, this is a washing machine.
This is laundry detergent.
This is detergent. You put one load in there with a scoop of detergent, but because your shit smells, we're going to go 2.
Mm-hmm.
You close it and you set the, I had to do that. I had to show kids how to use debit cards.
I believe you.
I had a kid from a town called Arab, Alabama, who didn't know how to operate a cell phone.
I believe you.
I mean, you just don't give up on people. I can't do it. It is both, I think, a positive for me and a flaw. Oh my gosh.
we're not supposed to throw people away. And that's kind of part of this whole thing, why I brought up the whole kids going to prison thing with the juxtaposed to venture capital in sports, because as you make these things more unobtainable for average families to just say, okay, there's an after school program my kid can do and someone's going to watch them. It's great for me because now I can work that extra shift and I can get them, at this time. When we eliminate all of that for whatever reason, then that extra stress, it really bears down on these people, and they start going, okay, my kid has to be so perfect. Because there's also a fear factor involved with being a parent, that you are afraid that your kid may fall down the same traps that you fell down to get you in whatever situation you're in.
Yep.
And again, it's kind of that kindergarten thing. Once they get to be a certain age, the shine wears off of, oh, Jimmy's a genius because he got all the spelling words right in 2nd grade. Now this motherfucker can't do long division. And I can't do long division, so I can't fucking help him. So to be able to have spaces where kids can get tutored and they can play and all that extra energy can get expelled, that is so important. And when you go to certain communities, that shit's not there.
Yeah.
And again, I can't stress it enough. Like, we're in the dystopia, and this should be a huge bat signal to all of us parents, to even if we have older kids, it's like, well, what the fuck are you doing right now? Nothing.
Yeah.
Go volunteer down at the fucking boys club or the Y or something. They need help.
Yeah, dude. And even then, you look at some of the people whose kids have moved out. Well, bro, get your ass down and help out. Same vein. I get it. You raise kids for 18 years or how many years, right? Like you got them out of the house.
Mm-hmm.
So go pitch in and help somebody out who may not have had the leeway
Mm-hmm.
that you had, and need you to help their kid do long division or format an English paper or, whatever. Go down there and just be like the adult figure at open gym, right? So kids can, like you said, have a place to do some study hall and then get on the court for a little bit and burn that energy, hang out with their friends in a place where they don't have to worry about, some dickhead involving a firearm or assaulting somebody or, give them. Kids should have the space to be fucking kids. And we are losing that, like me and you, like, I mean, when I was growing up, I loved going to the movies. I'd get my money together. I'd sit on it and I'd wait until there was a movie to come out. I'd ride my bike and in the lobby of the movie theater, it's just filled with teenagers in the summer because that was a great place to hang out. Right. You got to watch a movie with your friend. You got a big fucking thing of popcorn, with one free refill left. Like you said, you watched the first one. Well, the next one's only 5 minutes in. Let's go hit this one too, right?
RoboCop 2 is playing. We can go in. We can get it. We can get it. Yeah.
Yeah, but we're taking this shit away. Like the parks are always a place where we could go hang out. Like the guys during the summer, before summer practices, we'd organize like flag football games. Now, what green spaces do kids have to go to? What places, like, as much as I detest, church shit, the Y was a great place to hang out. They always had like fucking, PlayStations and shit that you can go in there and like get on with your friends. Those are hardly funded around here anymore, and it's like anything, especially in this town where soldiers are, right? Because what are soldiers' pay pegged to? Inflation and cost of living adjustments. They know they can sit here and force soldiers to pay for stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, but all these DOD programs on the base. A lot of guys that I served with that married and moved off post wanted no part of going on base or indoctrinating their fucking kids into this stuff. What they wanted was a place for their kids to hang out. And there are places like that. Cost you $20 to get in.
I lived with a white family that was not my own, and the mom and dad coached soccer, but the dad worked full time, and the mom kind of got into coaching soccer. They have 3 children, all spaced 2 years apart. So she was always coaching one, right? They were always coaching a kid. And then eventually the daughter, who's the youngest, grew up. Mom still coaches soccer. And she, I see Drea made a comment like, you're inspiring me to want to do something. She didn't play soccer as a young person. She learned it, and she, bigger than her soccer coaching, she became a safe space for young girls.
Before you go on, Zahir said Jason hated soccer because Capri Suns came with straws. Jason.
I never got Capri Suns as a kid because they were
young Jason on the pitch is like, where's the goddamn orange slices?
What the fuck is this? Do I look queer?
Sir, you take this tiny schwanz that I will not be drinking out of. Give me my orange slice.
I'm sitting there squeezing it in my mouth, which probably looks worse because I'm like this. I'm like this is a Capri Sun, which is way worse than the straw. It's like, you should have used the straw. It looked way less gay than you jerking off that squeezable pouch. but Barb is, a very sweet woman who hit me up around Super Bowl, and I feel like a piece of crap because I haven't visited. And she's just been a safe space for young girls to, oh no, I had sex for the first time. I don't know what to do. Just any questions they have about life, she's been able to be there for them for over 20 years, 30 years now. And that's important. That's super important. Those people, they're everything. These girls don't stop talking to her because they become adults.
Like, I know the guy was on TV, right? But Coach Beam is the perfect example. You know what I mean? Like, he literally could have went other places and coached and made a lot of money.
Yep.
He stayed home because he knew I need to be here because people need me. Right? And then, like your friend Barb, they're not just coaches at that point. They are, as cheese dick is a term this is, they're pillars of the community.
Yep.
They're a person that people will go to. And I've seen interviews with Coach Beam where he's like, yeah, I had kids that didn't even play ball. Of course I'm going to help him. He didn't care. What he wanted to do and what your friend Barb wanted to do and what my coach wanted to do was to make sure that we grew up to be good people.
Yeah.
And Sean keeps, kind of facetiously putting stuff in about like kids going to like finance camp and shit, which is a thing I've come to find out. We have leaned into this, like, Chicago school dystopian idea of capitalism as a society so much that we're like, do not worry about that. It's a very Ayn Randian in that if you take care of yourself, society will take care of itself. You can't have that. That is impossible. Society is literally a group of people working together. When you have a bunch of individuals working towards their own aims, you're not building society. You're not having anything social or community whatsoever. But this idea of, we need to get these kids ready for this entrance into the workforce. Well, dude, how are we supposed to do that when there's no fucking jobs anymore? How are we supposed to prep these kids when we have tens of billions, hundreds of billions of dollars being dumped into AI that is only being funded to replace these kids?
Oof.
You don't want them to work because you don't want to pay them. So what in turn do they have to look forward to? Homelessness? Food scarcity? Like, if we're going to be honest about how things are, it's not that we just live in a capitalist system. It's the fact that we live in a system that is currently building itself up to replace human workers, to set itself up so these goods and services that are being provided or created only go to the wealthy that can afford them. Because even if they shoot up in price, and guys, it's happening as we see more and more consolidation in every sector of this economy, the rich will continue to pay it because they can afford it. Where does that leave the rest of us? Wondering how we're going to eat, wondering what roof we're going to be under. This is the way, this is the way the system is designed. So if we have kids that are moving up into this, why aren't we being honest about that? But no, because this is America and we're exceptional, Jason. Did you know that? Pete Hegseth told me so. All right. We tell kids, if you work hard, you're going to go far, which is 90%, 100% bullshit. That is not the case. Sorry, Nuri. Today was a little heavy. We go from me getting...
Look, we goofed around a little bit in the middle before we got to this part, but I knew this was going to be kind of a dark subject for us because I think A, we're both parents and we care about this. B, we're both two guys that come from a time when there were just community stuff for us to do. And, I will say that you can create an online community and I never tried to create. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing when I was doing this. I just wanted to talk to people. And if you go back into the archive, I started this show when I lived in a warehouse that was a music rehearsal space. So I actually talked to people in person. But I am extremely proud of the fact that the people that watch this show in the community have gone on to have their own movie nights, and Mac has a book club, and all this shit is really fucking cool. And it blows my mind whenever I see you guys talk amongst yourselves, when I sneak in on some of the Patreon chats and stuff. You guys banned me from the TIR Discord, the new one, which is fine. I'll take my ban. But the thing that trips me out the most, and every so often someone will say something to me like, I watched your show and I went and I started to do blah blah blah. It's like, oh man, that kind of fucks me up, because I'm like, oh well, that's all you want to hear ultimately is thanks for the laughs, and I'm volunteering at the blah 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 now, and I love it. I'm so glad I started going to the old folks home, just hanging out with old people, because we can't throw away people. There's a story that's making the rounds again, and I'll close with this. It's from 2019. It's not new, and you'll probably see it in your social media feeds, and you'll see a picture of a mugshot of 3 black women that were accused of having a dementia fight club at an old folks home. And as you guys know, my father has dementia, and he actually is in a facility, not in the state of California. So that definitely is going to resonate with me in a negative way. And it's also going to resonate with me because I've known people that work in those kinds of facilities.
Yeah.
And it's not like you get paid a lot of money. It's not like people care about you. And you're also working with a different kind of society's trash, which is the elderly.
Mm-hmm.
So many people just kind of deposit their parents and grandparents in these facilities, or the state puts them in there because there's no one and they can't afford it anymore. So they're just dark, sad places. And there was no proof that there was a quote unquote dementia fight club, but these women had recording a fight with 2 dementia patients. There's so much little bullshit we can do that helps make the community stronger and the world a better place. And it doesn't cost us any money. It just costs a little bit of time. And if you have to, Jay, I'm not going to watch your show because I'm going to go do, okay, my feelings aren't hurt. You're making the world a better place.
Oh no, you're making your community better? Oh, so you get to miss dick and fart joke with Mac Hour? Oh no, don't do that.
Like, it's, oh man, I don't know. It's depressing as shit when you look onto a certain landscape. Like, I live in a different country where communal involvement is just so different.
Yeah.
There's baseball fields here people can use. There's soccer fields here people can use. There's parks here the community always uses. My community throws a monthly get together. Family and community just functions way different here. A lot of the people I know that actually can go live in the States don't want to. Most of us that live here don't want to go back. And it's not just because of the money. It's just you get entrenched into a certain kind of community vibe. And you're like, I don't really want to go back to traffic and people fighting. And
yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Like, I get it. There's some introverts out there that have a very limited, like, they have limited social capital. And I understand that. Some days I'm like that, where I'm like, I swear to God, I'm not leaving my fucking room. I'm going to sit here. I'm going to watch Ted Lasso. I got a bottle here. I'll have a couple drinky drinks, and I'm going to laugh at, Roy belittling Ted Lasso, and then his niece comes out and tells Ted to go fuck himself. Like, I find humor in that, and that's how I'm going to enjoy my day. But by nature, people are social creatures. And when you've been removed from that so long and you get it again, like, it's intoxicating, right? Like, you are just like, holy shit. You cannot believe how much you've really missed. And you don't have to know everybody. But like you said, just knowing that down the street, you know, we have baseball fields that kids are using, right? We've got soccer pitches that kids are using. We have the monthly get together here at the, Casa de Jason, like that's fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, as cheese dick as they were, my grandmother would tell me, like, back in Cork, they did like block parties like once every 3 or 4 weeks. Everybody would just set up a table right out, in front of their home, and they put the food out, and you would just meander up and down the street, eat a little bit, drink a lot, enjoy your neighbors, right? Like, that's an important part of any kind of organizing you want to do.
Yes.
Jason, you fucking hit the nail on the head. Door to door, face to face. That's where the money's made. Right?
Oh.
Like, we can sit here and do all this great stuff online. And I think, we've carved out a pretty rad little space, but we're going to make more money face to face with people, and like you said, if you're like, oh, Jason Mack can't make it for the red zone because I'm volunteering, or, I'm coaching, or dude, fucking go do that, please.
Yeah. I'm having a block get together in my house. Oh, do it. Do it.
Yeah.
There's nothing like knowing your neighbor. Like I told you, the other day, hope I'm not busting him out. Ben had a blowout. He had a blowout tire. There's a lot of construction going on, and he had a bad blowout. And he had sent a WhatsApp message to me and my neighbor. And I didn't get it. And my neighbor saw me. He's like, Jason, did you get Ben's message? I was like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. He's like, well, Ben had a blowout. Is he okay? And, text him, and I arranged for Scotty to go help Ben or whatever. And Ben doesn't live next door anymore. He lives a few streets down, but within the same neighborhood, Colonial,
yeah.
I call him here. And Scotty went and replaced Ben's tire, drove it down to the tire place, got it patched and back. That's kind of what neighbors and friends do for each other. And if you don't know your neighbor, it's okay to say, hello, how are you? I'm so-and-so. And if I don't know, if your neighborhood is that bad, I don't know what to tell you. Yeah. I've lived in really bad areas too, but
if you hit a gnarly pothole and need help changing a tire, I'm your person, like there.
Yeah.
This is the goal of all this theory and all this discussion that we do, isn't it? Like, that's the goal. It's not just getting rid of a horribly, inequitable system. It's finally building a community where everybody is welcomed, where everybody has a safe space to just be them. Mm-hmm. That's the goal, I've had people give me shit and call me like a utopian socialist and all this shit. And I'm like, well, isn't that what we want? Shouldn't that, I'm not saying we're going to hit that mark, but shouldn't we get as close as we can?
You would think,
it's just, like Jason said, you don't have to start the mass movement, but do something small, because you changing somebody, it could be their conditions for the day. You just hey, you have to work a second shift. Bet I'll help your kid with homework while your mom's on the way to watch, to watch your kid. Right. Or
that's so fucking huge.
Yeah. Whatever the case is, you making that difference, it may seem small. It might just be a couple hours out of your day, but that goes a long way to the person you're helping out.
Mm-hmm.
A long way, and that's how we get this ball rolling. It's not by me opening up fucking Capital and reading to the masses. Okay. Like, that's just, yeah. You know what, Prairie? I'll take it. I don't give a fuck. All right. Shoot for the moon, because even if you miss, you end up in the stars, or Sean's butthole, either or. It's, Ken just said we should be at a bar having this conversation. Mrs. Darnold would be dancing on tables.
Ken's in the Bay Area, and I'm going to the Bay Area this weekend. So I'm going to meet Ken in real life.
You should. He mentioned about having to go to a bar in Berkeley after this entire conversation. And Ken, I'm jealous. I really am.
There's nice bars there. depending on where he's going. Is he going on Telegraph or is he going on the upper end of Solano?
Oh, Ken, answer the question when you have a moment.
But yeah,
yeah, man.
yeah, it's late. It's late. We've been talking for a couple hours.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just get out there and try and do something, right? Because there's going to be people that ultimately are going to push back against whatever the good thing it is you're doing. Shattuck, he said, Jason.
There's some decent bars. Is he on the Oakland side or deep in the Berkeley side, like Jupiter? Jupiter's a really cool bar if you're on Shattuck. It's kind of by the BART.
You know,
It's
but
still
like
there. I don't know.
It's just, try and make that difference. That's the big goal. Yeah, Tony, we're gonna do movie night tomorrow. And what we'll do is we'll do chapters 4 and 5 the following week from People's Guide. So we'll just do 2
movie
chapters.
night is early tomorrow. It's going to be at 6 p.m. Or that's 9 your time. So it'll be early.
Perfect.
It'll be done early because I got to drive. After movie night's over, I got to start driving north.
Getting into the bay, getting into those shenanigans. What we need to do is do a fundraising and get some money together so we can do like get you on stage again so we can all meet up again. That's what we need to do.
Yeah, I would really like to do a live thing again. Prairie says you come into Central Nebraska. If you can hook it up, I'll figure out a way to
watch what happens. We do like a fundraiser. We get the money together. You and me like meet in Omaha. We're like, where the fuck are we going? And he's just got like a pin dropped. We pull up in the middle of this cornfield. And it's just like a 3-sided barn with a stage in it, a bunch of haystacks for seats.
I've played some places in my life. There's a place in Lincoln. I forget where Prairie is. There's a place in Lincoln. It's called the Grand something Theater, or is that Kansas? Sorry if I get those two places mixed up. Someone says Bellingham. Oh, there's a great venue in Bellingham that we could go to, Mac, and do a live thing at that I think people would show up to.
Dude, I'm down.
So whoever has Bellingham access, I would love it. A woman I know owns this really cool venue. I can't think of the name of it off the top of my head. I'm drawing a venue blank, and now I'm in my new space with no more venue names behind me. But if you guys can hook it up, if you can say, Jason, I think if you come out here, 45 people will show up. That's enough to get me to try to go north. Bellingham,
I would
Washington.
never. Yeah. I mean, dude, I only got a couple more years here. What kills me before we go, Jason? My son just finished up the written portion of driver's ed, and I was like,
old?
He turns 15 in June.
Is the laws different there for driving?
You have to do like your written portion, and then he'll do the driving, and like probably as soon as he turns 15. Like, so we have to wait till the summer before you can do the driving part.
Okay.
But like my daughter's already got a license, and then like my son's getting ready to have one. I'm like, dude, I'm almost done with this shit, man. Like the hardest part of being dad, so it's at that point, it's like, hey guys, you're out. I'm here to bounce questions and ideas off of, but I don't have to feed you anymore. I don't have to clothe you anymore. Don't ask me for sneakers.
You should show them, I don't know if your kids give a shit, but I know when I was a kid, when I learned what bootlegs were, I was like, this is the most magically wonderful place ever. I could get all these name brands for like $20.
Dude, my daughter only thrifts. And what she does is like, she'll buy clothes, and if it doesn't fit right, she like brings them in, does whatever she is. Cause she's a really dainty little person. But like she prefers to do everything by hand. And she's like, I cannot in good conscience just buy new clothes. I'm going to buy you stuff. I'm going to repurpose it, and I'm going to wear it. I'm like, you know what, kid, you're going to save a lot of money that way. And then me being the proud father got preached to about overconsumption for an hour. And I just, oh man, I'm so proud of her. Like I just sat there and listened. I was like, kiddo, you're getting it. You're getting it, And then my son's the one that's just like, I just need, loose fitting pants to go. Like my son's the sneaker. He's the sneakerhead. He just wears like band t-shirts and like basketball pants and then whatever fucking sneaker we got him for like Christmas or his birthday. But like, dude, he's such a sneakerhead, dude. It's so bad because he's like, Mom, I really want to get this pair for like my birthday. And like she called me up and she's like, dude, the pair he wants is $250. So we just got him a phone. So I called him up on my lunch break. And this is all I said. I was like, no fucking way. And then I just hung up. And he texted me back. He's like, what are you saying no about? I'm like, the sneakers for your birthday. And he's like, come on.
That's ridiculous.
I wanted to,
yeah, that's ridiculous. Go get a job.
Bro, I wanted to go in on him the way my dad did when I wanted a pair of Jordans when they first came out and they were like $80. And he's like, do you have to kill the cow to make these shoes?
Yeah, go mow a lawn, figure out how to deliver a newspaper if that still exists.
Yeah, dude. But yeah, man, like it's kind of nuts. And I like Bailey was asking me because I'm working on getting her an apprenticeship in the shop I get my tattoos at. And I was like, kid, pretty soon, man, you're gonna be like in college. You're gonna be like, you'll have a job here, you know, while you learn the ropes. And I was like, I'm gonna go travel. And she's like, really? I'm like, yeah, I'm not paying for your shit anymore. So of course, yeah, I'll have a couple extra bucks.
Like finally hitting them that the financial drain they have been in your life. You mean I'm not a little blessing? Define blessing.
Have you contributed to my 401k? You haven't? Then no.
I love the way you said it like this.
Dude, that's what you gotta just look at your oldest one day, Jason, and just do this. Dad, what's going on? So this weekend I calculated every expense I had for you in your entire life. And my 401k still says 0. So I'm wondering when we're gonna fix this imbalance here. She just looks at you like you are such a dick.
Yeah, I threw a guilt bomb at her. She called me and I was like, yeah, I got rid of the bed in the guest room. She's like, it's gone? Yeah, you know, I'm gonna die alone. You guys don't come visit, so really take the studio office up a notch.
Oh, dude, let her have it too. You know, because she probably like got off the phone or like, you know, stopped like FaceTime with you or whatever. And she's just like, God damn it. Now I have to go down there.
Yeah. Okay. I got to visit him one more time before he dies. Yeah.
It's going to be funny when like every like June 14th, she just shows up. You're like, what are you doing here? You don't remember like 4 years ago when you killed Ian?
Like, oh, no, I'm totally fucking with you. I'm in great shape, dude.
You
like,
see, your dad's
tally. It's
yeah.
Look how
I'm using him, kid.
like everything's fine. Get it. As a matter of fact, get the fuck out of here. Yeah.
Yeah. And then she looks at you. She's like, I heard you crying last night. Well, I was.
But I am going to see her. I'm actually going to have breakfast with her. So I'm excited about that. But look, enough about our personal lives. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Pacific time, where I'll be speaking with Mike Watson and Adam Turrell. And I have to get ready for that because that's really early for me.
It is.
I have to wake up 4 hours beforehand to be prepared.
Yeah, I'm the same way, dude. Or I get like really jazzed about the interview, so I can't sleep anyway. And I'm just like, okay, let's improve the notes. Okay, let's look in a little more about this person. You know, and it's just, I'll be about an hour into my lift at 6 o'clock Eastern. And then tomorrow night I have to run 4.5 miles. I got to do 6 on Friday and 9 on Saturday.
Then I'll send you the playlist that I'll be listening to as I exercise in the morning as well. So
well, I'm going to a concert Saturday night. So I'm going to go see Dropkick Murphys. I'm excited. It's at like one of my favorite venues.
The one in Charlotte?
No, it's in Raleigh. It's at the Ritz, dude. It's
I don't know
such a great, dude. It's, you would recognize it, dude. It's like old warehouse space. They just kind of cleared it out, put the stage up, bars at either end, but it's got good acoustics. It's just such a good show. It's gonna be like Dropkick Murphys, even though they're like, oh my god, Nuri, shut the fuck up. Just let me enjoy something.
Oh,
please.
Dre said you have a date on Saturday.
Uh-oh.
No, you have a date on Saturday.
Oh man, no, I don't have a date on Saturday. I'm going by myself.
You go to the concert by yourself?
Yeah, man.
Are you gonna wear plaid pants?
No. I can't wear vertical stripes, dude. Not with this ass.
So if I bought you plaid fucking ska pants, you wouldn't wear them?
Oh, dude, I'd fucking roll them up high too.
You would? What is? Are you 32? Wait, are you 30?
Yeah, I'm a 32. Yeah.
So
I'll wear that shit.
If I go to the Tianguis and find some 32 waist, fucking plaid ska pants, you gonna wear them?
Fuck yeah, man! I got Doc Martens, and I'll even wear suspenders.
Oh shit! Do you know the Mac? Oh yeah, so I have to add to my Mac gift thing that I'm compiling as well.
Yeah, man. I'll wear those like once. I'll wear them once a month if you send them, and I'll just send pictures, and you can put them all over TIR. Just be like, Max rocking plaid again. Yeah.
You and Dizzle, if anyone's watching this show and you want to make this show's day, send photos of you in your most ska-rific outfit. If you were in a ska band and you played the trombone, we need photos. We need photos. I need to see it.
Yeah. Red, probably Caps and Bottles is my favorite, or the Fighting 69th. Yeah, probably those two. Tessie gets on my nerves because it talks about them being Red Sox fans, and Jason and I have already covered just how racist so many Red Sox fans are.
Jesus Christ, those people. I forget how many weeks ago, but definitely just we went on a long riff.
Oh yeah, we did.
Of just Boston fans, but Red Sox fans are.
Yeah, when the street outside your stadium is still named for one of the most racist owners in professional baseball,
and everybody salutes it on their way.
Yeah. Hey, it's Yawkey. Oh.
Barry said Sam Cedar's a Red Sox fan, so that checks out. This is why Sam doesn't return my emails anymore. Jason, I heard you were calling me names. I've never said nigger. He didn't.
Jason, you really badmouthed the Green Monster? How dare you? Of all the things, Sam, to nitpick here, we're gonna pick. Okay, we're picking the Green Monster. Well, that was more Mac, but
all right. Yeah,
okay.
Fuck them all. There you go. How's that sound? Fuck them all. There you go. And if anyone has a Topps Baseball 1987 complete set with the wood frame one, and you don't want it anymore because it's worthless,
classics,
I will totally take it from you. I will totally take it from you. There's no card in that set worth over $5. I will take that set from you. I know you don't want it. I know you have one because it was overproduced. Send it to me. I will take that set off your hands, and I will decorate this whole back wall with that 87 top set because it's so fucking dope.
God, the wood paneling, dude.
I love the wood paneling. Right? You can see it. When you say that, you can see it, can't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
86 Topps. Will Clark rookie. Mark McGwire rated rookie. Wally Joyner rated rookie.
Oh, yeah.
Bo Jackson future stars. Yeah. There's more. Who else is in there? Dan Plesac.
Doesn't matter. Carney Lansford was in it. Okay, that's all that matters.
Oh. Yeah, rookie Mark McGwire's in that set. He's a rated rookie. Barry Bonds, Bonilla. It's just the players in that set are great.
Hold on. Andy Van Slyke.
Oh, Andy Van Slyke is totally in that set.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No, he's not. Is he in that set?
Yeah, because he came in that same year. Probably had a little bit of Rob Dibble. Barry
I had
Larkin.
an 88 Rob Dibble that I was really proud of.
Yeah.
I don't remember him in that set.
Oh, definitely had Jack Morris.
Oh, fuck yeah, I had a Jack Morris.
Definitely
I
had
had a
Jack
Frank
Morris.
Viola in that set. I had a David Cohn.
Joe Carter. Joe Carter.
Joe Carter was in that set for the Indians.
Yeah. Right before we shipped him off to Toronto, where he then proceeded to win 2 World Series. Ow.
Tony says, wait, that Don Mattingly is over $5, right? Nope. No. The 87 set Don Mattingly? No. It's about 25 cents in mint, and it's going to cost you more to get it graded.
It's going to cost you more to ship it to Jason.
Yeah. Like, don't even bother. If you had a Don Mattingly rookie, which I think is 84, it's not.
I think that's it. Yeah.
A Ricky Henderson rookie is from 80, and that might get you $100. That might get you $100 if it's graded.
Jesus Christ. And he played into the 2000s, man. Maybe
one of the greatest players of all time.
Yeah.
If it's graded, maybe. Yeah. Anything that you have is probably worthless.
That's a good point, Red. 87 was the year of the famous John Smoltz Doyle Alexander trade. Wonder who won that one.
Dude. So if you have an 87 Topps wood panel set, feel free to mail it. Booking at thisisrevolutionpodcast.com. I will send you the mailing address, and I will give you all the shouts out in the world, and I will decorate this whole wall with that mighty wood paneled amazing fucking set of cards.
And then he'll just read one day, like during Champagne Room, he'll just read all the nobodies.
Jose Rijo. John Quinones. Mike Sosha.
This is Peter Wilson. You know,
Kelly Downs. Oh, looks like we got an Atlee Hammaker in here.
Well, I don't know how he ended up here, but Ken Herbeck ended up in this sea of mediocrity.
Oh my God, Ken Herbeck! First base for the Minnesota Twins. I would totally put Ken Herbeck like center. Gerald Perry right next to him.
Oh,
I'd have a holding a first baseman. Ken Herbeck, Gerald Perry, Corey Snyder.
Yeah, you'll see the vast discrepancy in the body composition of first baseman in 87, where you have the long and lanky Corey Snyder, and then you get like Joe Herbeck. Smith, who it says that he's 6'220", but he's really pushing 300.
John Kruk for the Padres. Fucking that. This is the set. If we get that set, oh my God. Can you, dude? And I think if you about how awesome it would be.
If you got that whole set and cover that whole wall, it might like add like 20 boners to your boner queue.
Oh my God. Looking up, that's Barry Larkin's rookie year. Ugh.
The next time you bring a woman over, you're like, no, we're going in the office.
Stare at Eric Davis. Stare at it.
What are you looking at? Excellence.
This is when Topps hit their stride in production quality.
There's something very wrong with us.
You have a 25th year Nolan Ryan in that set. There's players in that set that you look at and you're like, holy shit, I think that guy played when black players couldn't.
You guys are making out and you hear like, all right, it's time. And you're like, she's looking at you and you're like, don't look at me. Look at Howard Johnson.
We call him Hojo.
Played for the Mets all over the field. Yeah.
Don't look at me. Look at Phil Necro in his final years.
Joke's on you. She's probably really into baseball. She's like, he really let himself go, didn't he? And you're like, wait, what?
She's like, where's Dale Murphy? She's throwing it back. Where's Dale Murphy? that is, I need that fucking set of cards.
Jason, if that happened to you, if she's throwing it back, like, where's your Dale Murphy? You probably go through like 10 of those new, like the boner cue, just like, go!
I'd be like you as a teenager. Just,
yeah, me in high school, just, oh God, I can't stop.
Yeah, Jesse Orozco, get us right. Like, holy shit, that's left-handed long reliever Jesse Orozco.
Jason just busted. She's like, really? I can't help it. Just happened.
Like, no, that's zinc shortage. Can you imagine if a woman just looked at you and she was like, oh my God, is that the 87 Topps complete set? And she like strokes it. Is this Wally Joyner's rated rookie?
Dude, and at that point, Jason, you just immediately put a ring on it. That's it. Just
oh yeah.
Just
oh yeah. She goes, wait a minute. Isn't Pete Inclaviglia in this set? And you're like,
yeah. Is that Benito Santiago? What?
And she goes, this is the year he stole 30 bases. As a catcher, no doubt.
Yeah. Yeah. And then she looks at you, she's like, so we doing this? And you're like, I already did. Like,
we want to go again, I can, because I'm fully loaded right now.
Yeah.
It's like racking a gun at this point.
Did you just load your dick like a shotgun? I did.
I'm so mad. Sean goes, if you had the 87 set, she'd know it was worthless like you. Damn, Sean. Sean's over here killing boners. Why are you killing boners, Sean?
Sean, I know I made a butthole joke about you, but like, we don't need to be that mean to Jason.
I know. God damn, Sean.
Drea said, no, you'd load it like a sawed-off musket. You just see like Jason pull his dick out and you see a ramrod. You're like, wait a minute, what are you doing? Oh, no! Don't do that to it!
Sawed-off musket, hand on the pump.
When this is going to pop, baby, you might want to run. I'm going to blow a hole right through your chest.
This is shooting ball bearings at a massive rate. You have no idea.
You know, it was bound to happen. It was bound to happen that we eventually moved into this part of the show.
I didn't realize that it looked like a musket kind of gun to me. And I'm like, he had a sawed-off musket.
Just a musket pistol, my friend.
Damn, when he said Dave Magadan.
Magadan, yeah.
Did you have a Dave Magadan too, and it said future stars on it? And you were like, Magadan is my guy. And you're like, this motherfucker never plays.
No. Oh, it's just like it was just like every future star, like Cleveland guy that they, you know, you get ready for the next season, like, yes. And then it's like,
he's like, where's Greg Swindell?
Hey man, there's 162 games in a season. He's only played in 4. You know, like,
hell mad. You're like, but wait, who was their catcher? The Indians had a catcher that was really good.
Bo Skinner. He ended up being a manager somewhere.
You know, we're so old. Everyone in that set, even the rookies, they're like coaches now.
Mm-hmm.
Some are retired coaches.
Bro, you know what? We're not old. We're aged, like scotch.
Prairie's like, God damn it, Jason. It's called a flintlock pistol. But every time Prairie talks or sends me a message,
he sounds like Hank Hill to you. Oh, Red. I would
deep voice. Yeah.
Red. It would be 2016. 97 sucked, but we had the talent that I thought we'd get back there again. 2016 though, losing in 7 games, extra innings to the fucking Cubs. Ugh.
Wow.
And the thing is, I knew Cleveland was going to lose in 2016 because when that weather front moved in and they had to go to a game delay, I was like, well, that's fucking it.
Wait, was that Oral Hershiser played for the Indians? 97?
97, yeah. He played in 95 to 98. He was with Cleveland. But yeah, in 2016, when that storm rolled in and they went to a delay game, I was just like, even God doesn't want us to win a World Series.
The player, Sandy Alomar Jr.
Oh, Sandy Alomar, yeah, he came over from San Diego, but Bo Skinner was the catcher before him. Sandy replaced him.
I don't know if you did this as a kid. You know, I don't know if you separated your cards by team in the little card book. So I separated mine by team, and I kept the Dodgers near the Giants because I wanted my enemies close.
Keep your friends closer, but your enemies. Yeah, keep your friends close, but your enemies closer.
You know how you can put you can face it the other way and put it behind. So I was like, keep your enemies close. I see you, Fernando Valenzuela.
You'll never defeat Dave Dravecki.
Oh my God. Well, he's no longer with us. Both of those guys that's how old we are. Both of those guys are gone. Dave Dravecki passed away from cancer. And I don't remember what killed Fernando, but Fernando is gone too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's how old we are. Jesus Christ. Let's get off. We have to go. I have to go cry.
Yeah, Jason have to go cry a little bit. He's probably going to shoot a boner load through a wall before he goes to bed.
wait, where'd it go?
And then Jason's neighbor looks through the hole like, bro. Yeah.
Or it's more like this. That's how the boner load goes. And boom goes dynamite.
Yeah. That's how Jason shoots loads. Just
someone says, Jason, go take your zinc supplements. Zinc. Okay, we gotta go.
Yeah, we do.
Zinc supplements. All right. Have a good evening, guys. Mac, be safe. See you guys. Peace.
Love you guys.